Habit, 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 heartbreak, 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 heartbreak. 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 Habit, habit, it keeps on pounding. Heartbreak, heartbreak, you tell me goodbye. Habit, 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 heartbreak, 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 heartbreak. Tell me why you did it, every dream falling apart. Tell me why you did it after the promise. Still I can, oh baby, I need your love. Looking so different, but in street lights. Habit, habit, it keeps on pounding. Heartbreak, heartbreak, you tell me goodbye. Habit, habit, it keeps on pounding. Heartbreak, heartbreak, you tell me goodbye.
Hi guys.
Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Till you feel the clouds that touch the sky. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. And touch the sky. On a sunny morning, I touched the sky. Next morning, I touched your heart. What's the start? I play my role when I rip the mic apart. Do what I got to do to place a spark. I'ma pull it down, seeking no crown anymore. From the moment I saw you, it's all gone. Hard to believe to a pimp like me. Used to have every woman every day of the week. Quick time, I put that behind. Said I'm sorry, I got to go from the side. Lie to the man, I ain't high. To the place no human has ever even tried. So I got to go, I got to go. All I want is for you to stay. Man out of grave resurrected, now he's connected. No concession, just embedded by you. Take a deep breath. Let it go, follow my lead. No doubt about that. It's a happy day. I gotta tell you one thing. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a breath, deep breath, deep breath. Can you feel the frost and touch the sky? Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Till you feel the frost and touch the sky. I won't deny that I used to play. Young days are done things that I can't even say. Trying to make up my day. God, it's so hard to regulate till the matter yesterday. I was the dirt and you're the purifier. I'm the gasoline while you're the fire. Keep it on the DL, no inquire. Which makes me wanna talk like Esquire. I don't want a Porsche, I want the entire. Buy any juice from gold to sapphire. Crack some jokes and turn satire. We'll be careful not to get you too tired. Making sure that I take you higher. When we have a baby, we'll be in a child. That's what makes me most inspired. Hope seeing goes with you, baby girl.
Yeah, hey guys, not much to say. We are first in our division because of the tiebreaker against FM. I think it's 5-1 then.
Oh, whoa, can you guys hear me now? Oh my goodness, dude, that's so bad. Alright, that should definitely fix it now. Awesome. Intro sucks because it was so lit, but whatever. Alright, now we're gonna go down to the next person here introduce yourself and just give a little brief speech about yourself or something.
That would be me, I think.
Yep, that's you, Lotso.
Yeah, I'm Lotso. I play for APK I have been for 4 seasons now. I not much else to say.
Okay, that's good enough for me. All right, now just moving down to you, Lorenzo.
Hello, I'm Lorenzo Roma, and I'm playing for Diffusion since last season. And yeah, nothing much else to say, I guess, about standings and shit. I don't have any idea how that works. People usually just tell me to sit on the table and play the game.
Good enough. All right, and now finishing off with last but not least, go ahead and give a little speech here.
Hey, I'm Sniffus. I'm on BNP, but I always go negative, so it's fine.
Very, very good. Okay, all right. So right now here, wait, that's. Oh my! Now they're telling us we need to move down apparently. So I'm gonna be locking you guys down. Just give me just one brief second. Okay, all right. That should be better now. All right, good. All right, so hello everyone once again. Welcome to my first edition of Duel Links Team Wars Talks here. You can see everyone clearly on the screen. Today's discussion is going to consist of everything listed on the right-hand side, going from the Week 6 match reports, the meta-analysis, as well as the power rankings, some of the Week 7 match predictions, as well as some of the questions and answers that will be coming from you guys in the chat here. All right, so without really any further delay, let's go ahead and simply get started. Before we start this, clearly you can see on the screen there is the Duel Links Team Wars Fantasy League. So, quick advertisement. Duel Links Team Wars Fantasy League is something that you definitely want to get yourself involved in simply by going ahead and doing either a free or paid subscription to Team Wars. It'll allow you to go ahead and to make your own team of some of your favorite players in the league who you think are the strongest, earn weekly points, and go ahead and have the opportunity to go ahead and win a prize of over $250. And the best part is you don't even need to be on a team, so definitely something you want to get involved in. Feel free to go ahead and join the Discord, !fantasy in the chat to get involved in it, !discord to join the Discord. Feel free to talk to any of the mods such as Xerix, others, etc., and they'll be able to gladly assist you. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So let's start off with the match reports. So in the first match report, we're going to discuss Bricks and Potatoes versus Infinity here. So this is primarily going to be focusing on you, buddy. This is your team, so I want to know, give us a brief breakdown of everything. Tell us what was your thoughts going into this match, why some of these decks were selected, your pair specifically, key moments, things of that nature.
I know from Taha some things about Infinity that he told me, is that they generally tend to struggle with Christians. So we tried focusing our lineup around that. We brought 3. We only revealed 2, but there was a third one. So we had one in the starting pair because we thought it would give us a good head start, which worked fine. Like the deck went 2-1, which is pretty good. And the Magician Girl is just a really good all-around deck because it covers like Karakuri and Shiranui. And those are pretty popular starter decks.
Very, very good here. Now, were there any moments during this matchup where you began to question things such as maybe we should have brought this, or maybe you potentially could have been on a different pair, or felt that maybe the lead deck would have been a little different? Because seeing here, you did start off with the Invoked Magician Girls, which are a very strong deck to be proven, but you did lose the first game, unfortunately. You were able to go 2-2, which is still fair. But at any point, did you question that or anything else during this matchup today, previously?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that the first, like, I got decked out in the first game, so maybe there was something to do about that. Probably just changed the deck list a bit, because I only had 2 Ballista, and maybe a 3rd Ballista just to have another out to deck really, because that was the key point, so I couldn't recycle my invocations anymore, so I got decked out. But I think the deck was fine. I think the second deck, actually, Crystron, in the third game versus Invoke Magician Girl, I might have actually messed up there. So I could have potentially streaked a bit more there. But overall, I think the pairings were fine.
Okay. Yeah, no, very, very good. First off, I know you mentioned out Taha. Shout out to Taha. If you guys don't know if I should be doing this or not, but he does have like a after hours talk show where he does discuss Team Wars and the matches, etc. Raw, unedited, just speaking his mind. Again, not associated with Team Wars, but I don't care. I think it's really entertaining, and I think it would be something that you guys could definitely enjoy too. So, very good. So yeah. So now here's the next match we're gonna go ahead and go on to. Here is going to be the Abusement Park versus Draw Sense match. And now, Lotso, you said you've been with APK now roughly for 4 seasons, correct?
Yeah, 4 seasons.
4 seasons, yes, no. And we all know that you're a very consistent player here, and I believe you also played last week, correct?
Well, I was in the lineup, but we won in a way where I didn't need to play.
That's very good. Okay, so going back to this, or focusing on this specific matchup here, go ahead and kind of give us a breakdown similar to Sniffisis here. What did you anticipate? How did you guys prepare? What was the thought process going on? Any key crucial moments, etc.?
Well, there's definitely a key crucial moment that I'll get to after, but well, we had the idea that we could bring decks that we hadn't really played in the past weeks, so the past 5 weeks, because this was week 6, being, well, Heroes, and possibly Sidra, and, well, Magician Girls, which you see we won half our games with. Well, the thought process there was that all 3 of those decks could well, kill their combos, not just kill one of their decks, which it did on a few occasions. But yeah, we didn't want to bring Shiranui for this week because we didn't think it was very important against Draw Sense. There wasn't any point where we thought we really needed Shiranui here. But for us, the key point in the match was actually when Black Wings came in against Art Magician, because our lineup was, well, I wouldn't say weak against Black Wings, but it was our weak spot. But Ragno managed to beat the Blackwing player twice with some extreme luck. I don't know if anyone saw the game, but he ripped the curtain when it was like the only card that could like save us, and it was like 1 out of 14. So we got really lucky there. And then the second game, the Blackwing player bricked. As soon as the Blackwing player was out, we had a feeling that we'll most likely win this war. I mean, at that point, it was only 4-2, but our lineup was really well prepared for the rest we were expecting of them, and what we expected of them actually turned out to be almost entirely correct. So, I mean, with any streak, like you see, I win 4 games here with Invoke Magician Girls. There's always some luck involved. It would be naive to say there's no luck, because, I mean, you can be very skillful. If you brick, you lose. So we were lucky in the sense that I drew the back row I needed in the time I needed. Like when I went second against Karakuri, I drew Needle Ceiling. When I went first, I drew Flood. And they made some plays that I think were not optimal. They could have done some stuff better, but yeah, that's mainly the summary of the game, I'd say.
Yeah, no, that's very, very good. Looking down here, you said, looks like, I mean, Draw Sense is one of the better new teams, I would say. I mean, they ranked very high in their division, so the fact that you guys were able to win, especially at this large of a margin, is very, very impressive and a very great feat nonetheless. Also, I want to kind of break down, because you honestly gave a lot of really interesting comments here. You said that you guys were able to really predict their lineup. You said you did it almost perfectly. So I want to know the thought that was going in there. Like, were you guys looking at previous match reports? Was it a collective group idea? Was this just one person specifically?
Well, I don't want to give away all our secrets.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. I just want to... I guess what I'm saying is, did working as a team really come together and work out for you guys? I guess is a TLDR.
Well, the way we we work is so obviously we look at past match reports, which I think everyone does. If they don't, they definitely should. But it's mainly our man Tenma who does most of the work on the lineup part. So in general, he would post a lineup fairly early in the week, a draft lineup, I should say, which we then, as a team, try to improve on, comment on, test matchups, test techs in the decks that we could improve certain matchups for. Because we bring some decks of which the goal is to just beat one deck, so win one game. Like last week, we'll like this week even we brought Seal Tombs Heroes specifically for the combo Shiranui deck we were expecting of them. If you draw CC, we think it's well, basically a win because they don't really play any relevant back row that can stop heroes. If you don't draw CC, however, the matchup isn't that great. It'll go more towards like a 50-50 depending on what they have. But if you can activate Seal Tombs, we think it will be really good. But yeah, big credit to Tenma mainly because he comes up with most of the ideas and then we just give feedback and adjust it a little. But the main job comes from Tenma who analyzes the match reports and then tries to predict what the opponent will do.
Alright, well, very good. Well, shout out to Tenma for really giving you guys the preparation needed to go ahead and get such a big victory. And also, good job on Ragnall's part. Recent KC Grand Tournament participant. We haven't seen him in quite some time, so seeing him come back into the league and having a pretty hot start like this is always pleasing, so good job for him, man. Alright, nonetheless, let's go ahead and get on to our next match. So, since no Phoenix members are here, we're going to skip over that and go to that later, but looks like we do have my teammate and friend here, Nyx, and he's going to discuss our game of Pharaohs versus Duel Links Taiwan. So first off, what's up, Nyx?
What's up, Cosmic? Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me go ahead and turn you up a bit. You should be good now.
Cool.
Alright. So right now, currently, we're just discussing the Duel Links Taiwan versus Pharaohs game here. So right now, I'm gonna have you go ahead and kind of give a little bit of an explanation or kind of just thought process of our thoughts going into the match, what do we want to do, how we prepared. Don't give out too much info, obviously, but you know, just a overall speech about it, I guess.
Yes. So going into this match, we really knew the top two decks were Karakuri and Shiranui. We expected a ton more of the Karakuri than the Shiranui, so that's why we ended up leading with Magician Girls over, say, Karakuri, because it has a blanket good versus everything. So we figured if we go in with Magician Girls, we should either counter Karakuri or counter Shiranui, which I think Magician Girls has a favorable matchup versus Shiranui purely because they can't banish from my grave like they can in the combo variant. So we went ahead and had Cub lead with that, and sure enough, he got us a big lead with the Magician Girls, and then he had Karakuri in the back to kind of carry him. And then Skill Shot came in, I think it was like 6-2 at that point, and just finished them off by having the counter pick with Balanced DM, which took out... Which deck did that take out, Cosmic? I can't remember.
Which deck from Skill?
Yeah, what did he beat with DM?
So the first deck that he beat with Dark Magician was Invoke the Roids.
And that was exactly the counter pick. We brought DM to counter, not Roids, but Magician Girls. Sure enough, it countered Roids too, because, you know, Roids suck. and
Roids suck indeed.
Like, they have literally nothing but attributes. At least Magician Girls, they can stall. Be like, oh, he halves my attack. Oh, this is annoying as hell. But, yeah. But, so, once he just took that out, and then he just finished it off with Karakuri in the back. The one thing I remember was the best was Skill Shot attacking for lethal. I think his final game was versus Roids too. It's like they must have brought two.
His last game was actually a Karakuri mirror match.
Oh, that's when he he just blew
His
him
second
out.
to last was versus Royce.
Yeah, his second one.
Yeah. The second to last with the Karakuri, because that's when he lost. Yeah. Okay, so that matchup was probably the one that won us the war, because they sent in the roids, and then they flooded skill shots level 2 Tuna, and then he had to make some weird play to go into the level 5 along with the level 7.
Yeah,
And
I remember that play thoroughly. We were talking about it. It was me, you, him, and Swag, and we were telling him to play in VC. It was the Mako the level 7 Beret, flipping up the Karakuri flood-gated monster, summon with the level 3 on board, go into the level 5, and then after that, swing. And then we noticed our opponent had a wad, but he chose not to activate it. So then Skill activated the Karma Cut, and then he hit for 26, and his opponent's like, wait, why doesn't wad work on the Samurai? What's going on?
That's the one time the Samurai attacking in defense mode won us the game. It's like, that actually mattered.
Yes.
If he attacked in the other order of the Musashi, whatever his name is, first, we probably would have lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's crazy. So after that, we just got really lucky and clutched it out. But Cub did his thing again this week, just getting us a great lead and then closing it out.
Yeah, no, Cubio has been insane for us these last few weeks. It's good to see a player who really has that much skill finally catching a break. We know in previous seasons he hasn't been able to get the hottest hands. So the fact
I told him, me and him switched roles this season, because usually I'm the one getting the leads and stuff, but this season I've been sucking, and he's just been clapping them. And it's good to see, honestly, because past couple seasons he's just been going in and instantly going 0-2. So him having this finally rewarding season is pretty good for me. I'm happy for him.
Yes, very, very good. All right. I'm not going to spend much longer here because I don't want to be considered biased, so we're going to move on to the next match here. All right, so this one we have God's Chosen versus Lorenzo. And Lorenzo, I'm going to have you talk about the match because you were the match here. You were the guy, so I want to hear not a full breakdown, but I want to know what happened here. What was the environment like for you? Why was it this pair? Did you expect it to do this well? Any crucial moments in the game? Give us the breakdown, man.
Okay, so first of all, at the start I have to give a shout out to Drizzles. He's right about moving 2 or 3 people up with me in the voice chat and not 10 people being in the same room with me. Yeah, that's how it started. We joined the voice call and I just said, yeah, I'm gonna stay down with like everyone. And I played Cristrons, so the first game, the environment wasn't already really good. I drew triple Scrap Recycler and Undyne, so I thought like, oh, it's gonna be one of those weeks. I somehow won the mirror match with that, then they repeated another mirror match where I just opened a normal hand and won normally, but the next round was against Shira, and that was where being with 10 people came in. Because like I feel Crystron is one of the decks where like the end result is often the same, but everyone sees a different way to get there. So people just scream at each other and like do this, go this route, even though it ends in the same thing. And in the end, we had like 10 seconds on the clock and I couldn't do shit. So that was my loss with Crystron, and then I don't know what happened honestly, how Magician Girls can go 7-1. Didn't think the deck would do anything close as well as it did, but of course, as Lotso said before, to streak there's a lot of luck involved. Like if I don't draw playable, I won't win. But I drew 7 out of 8 games. I opened Alistair and 1 or 2 traps with it, which was of course very above average, and also some quite unfortunate plays of the opponents cost them a few games where they might have won. But yeah, I mean, matchup-wise, it got closer to the end. Of course, we knew it's like they don't have good counters anymore. We were very surprised that there was no Dark Magician in their lineup, so like no real hard counter. And like as close as you get to the end, of course, you know now it's going to be the time where they bring the Karakuris and the matchups that you're genuinely favored in. But yeah, of course, it was super nice for me. Like, I didn't expect that. It was a huge win for me personally. I was benched for 2 weeks, and I just wanted to do well. Like, my personal goal was like to go for 2 or 5-2, something like that. I didn't expect it to go that well.
Yeah, very, very good here. Taking a look, first off, I agree. You definitely brought up some very good points for a lot of these guys here. I know I interact with you and a lot of the others over on the Diffusion team, so really emphasizing the importance of not only having a very condensed and organized voice chat is a very key factor, so that's definitely something to look out for, or to keep in mind for any of the other teams out there, which is nice. But that's very pleasing to hear. I know it's also very great to see the fact that you went 10-1, essentially, in my opinion, kind of securing your way into being the player of the week, whether it's an early call or not, so that's very, very good. I'm taking a look. Looks like you have your owner Drizzle in the chat. First off, everyone say hello to Drizzles. Very great player. Taking a look, analyzing that they really had no legitimate counter in their lineup. And then, you know, obviously showing his love for Sidra not being in today's match. So, but nonetheless, still very, very good. And we're gonna go ahead and shift over to the next one here. So the next one here, we're going to go ahead and speak to you, Andy, and we're going to talk about your win over the was previously undefeated team Forbidden Memories. You guys winning 10-6. So go ahead and give us a breakdown. Tell us about your thoughts going into it, knowing how you went 3-2, your teammates, the preparation around it, etc.
Yeah, the most crazy thing is when I got pinged with the lineup and he said basically, okay, you play Christians, I never saw you with that, but you will do it. That was the first thing, yeah, but like I knew my Shiranui matchup and it went good against, like, I had 2 good hands against Black Jesus. Yeah, but the thing about FM is we thought that they will just bring what they consider the strongest decks, and we basically did the same thing, not trying to counter them, actually just focus what our best decks are and just bring them in. And yeah, it went off to a good start with 3-2 for me, but then like Contrera went in with his Christrons, and he just, like, I don't know if you watched the match, but his hand to take me out was so crazy, and at that point I was like, okay, if he draws like that, we have to take him out quickly. I think that was a big win when we repeated our second Shiranui into it. And yeah, we had like the longest hero game in the history of Team Wars, I think. Against the Invoke Magician Girls, where we just prayed every round to draw the Stratos to end the game. And it took like 30 turns.
Yes. I watched all of these games actually, and I remember this one thoroughly. I don't know if you have any key moments in this war, so I'm gonna let you speak first before I kind of give my own thoughts here.
Yeah, like I said, I think one was when we had to repeat the Shira because they just bricked against the Christians. I think that match was good to keep the counter advantage to us in the match. And yeah, that was probably the key moment. Like when SSA began to streak, we were kind of in a good spot after that. And like the hero taking out the Magician Girls was good as well, and in the end we just said, okay, Weather Painters are here to finish the game against Christians. Like the deck had some good cards against Christians because they can't OTK them in most cases.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree here. The Shiranui was definitely a big factor. You already mentioned Contrera, recent addition to Forbidden Memories. He's been having a relatively hot season, as well as last season also, so the fact that he can continue it, he definitely was someone you had to kind of stop in his tracks, because he definitely can get in a run, especially running Kristrons. Some key things to pick out that I saw was one, Zeta, who's been kind of one of the hottest players, I think, right now for Better Memories, going 0-2, which really has not been like him this season. kind of being a little blunt here. In previous seasons, he was around, but not as often as much as we're seeing him this season. It seems like he's playing almost every single week. And at the same time, it seems like every single week he's a guy who's going about maybe 3 or 4 plus games with for wins. So he was a big factor. Edu, we all know Edu, previous Worlds contender, very strong player. Although he did go 2-2 and did do his job, it is a little surprising that we did see him get a little bit more games going on, and that the deck, unfortunately, he did lose to was Weather Painters, which won. Was it the previous weekly, I believe, right?
It was this weekly.
This weekly, okay.
It's actually pretty hard to play against, I think, because there's a lot of like small things that can go wrong, since they can always just poke directly, and if they like survive with Rainbow Life or Hollowed Life Barrier and then follow up with the Jin Exceed that can attack directly, and then I don't know, it just seems like you can get cheesed really quickly.
Yeah. Weather Painters are definitely in deck where they really can do a lot of things, and to be honest, I know that it's not what everyone wants to hear, but I mean, you have to read. You have to read the cards, so.
Yeah, honestly, when they get going, it's kind of annoying if you have no spot removal. It's like, crap. They're just gonna loop me to death.
Yeah, no. Like, if Weather Paint... It's funny, so we're gonna kind of discuss this later in the meta-analysis. I don't want to go too hard, but if we've taken a look so far, and majority of these matchups so far, is the biggest decks we've seen have been Invoked, which have streaked. We've seen Crystons, which have streaked. And we also have seen Shiranui at some point, which have streaked. So it seems like here, pretty much with all of these decks kind of just circling around, that they're really starting to dominate not only the meta, but primarily within Team Wars. And we're seeing that Blackwings are starting to trend down. But if Weather Painters do become more popular, we definitely could see a surge of Blackwings kind of coming back up. But I'm kind of going to hold off on those comments for
Field
later.
nuke is a field nuke.
Yeah, man. You definitely have to go all in order to really get the dub on that one. But nonetheless, very, very good again. And now going on to our next match. We don't have any of the members for any of these following teams, unfortunately. So I'm going to allow everyone to go ahead and collectively kind of just speak on it if they desire to. So right now, currently on the screen, we have Destiny Draw versus Sun Clan. Sun Clan was able to take the win going 10-8 versus Destiny Draw. I'm not sure if any of you actually saw this match, but I will say it was a very close one, very back and forth. Some key things that I noticed, in my opinion, was Hegelian Boy. He did relatively well. He went 1-2, I believe 4-2, yes. He going 4-2, and then after that, Raw clutching it out. And then after that, having Dahyun, he was able to go 2-2, which did his job, which was okay. And then after that, same with Moriel. So no real big streaks coming from Destiny Draw. But
Yeah.
everyone come to give me your thoughts. Were you guys surprised by these results? Was there anything that you felt was a key moment, etc.?
So this is like, Destiny Draw in general has really not been doing too great this season. I think they just struggle a lot with the meta. And this one is kind of an example of that, because if you look at their pairs, like, the second decks were so questionable, to say the least, because like every second deck immediately lost the next game. It just shows that if your second deck loses to the same deck that your first deck also loses to, then that just means you don't really know how you're planning. Like, look at the first pair, the Invoke Magician got lost, then the Shiranui lost, then the second pair, the Hero lost, the Dark Magician lost straight after, and the third pair, the Shiranui lost, and the Karakuri lost straight after. And the last pair again, Invoke Magician got lost, Karakuri lost straight after. It's just like 4 lives that were lost so easily.
Yeah, I'm
that's a
noticing
good
that
point.
because Invoked and Shiranui both lose to DM, and sure enough, they lost both decks to DM.
Yeah,
I
I don't know.
Maybe they were kind of caught off balance where they wanted to like send the second deck should have been the first deck, and then they kind of got messed up there. I don't know.
Yeah,
4 times in 1 war.
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
weird. And like, if you
Yeah.
look at the lineup last week, they went super Karakuri heavy, and that didn't work. And then they just only bring one this week, which I don't know. Maybe you could have looked more into what exactly went wrong instead of just saying, "Oh, Karakuri is bad." So
Yeah, man. You know, I don't care. I'm gonna say it. I made these comments off air, and honestly, I was kind of joking, but at the same time. So let's take a look at Destiny Draw. Right, Destiny Draw, clearly a super amazing team, insane, super insane, right? So last season they did very, very strong. The season before that, they won and they went undefeated the entire time. Correct?
Yeah.
So taking a look at that. So I'm noticing, so they went undefeated, then they only lost like 1 or 2 games last season. It's kind of weird that not only they're trying to adapt to a new meta, and I think they're trying to figure it out, but low-key I was thinking it could be kind of a morale or mentality issue also. Because taking a look, Destiny Draw has never really lost games, especially this early on in this season. So, I mean, it's kind of weird transitioning from like a super winning mentality of constantly just doing something repetitively, and then all of a sudden your pattern's just broken up. So it's like...
Are you saying that they kind of got lazy?
I'm not even saying they got lazy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they're kind of just like... It's like, what do we do here? It's like, we have some of the best players. We're doing everything right, or at least from their perspective, they feel they're doing everything right. And then all of a sudden, things are still just not working out. It's like, how do we go from being the undefeated champs to just guys that essentially...
I could kind of comment on that because we started out really bad as well. Last season, we didn't make playoffs when we felt we should have. And then this season, again, starting off, we started out 1-3. And I remember after week 4, we had to have like a team meeting, be like, what do we do to not lose anymore? And we made some changes and won the next 2 matches. But man, losing early on really messes with your head.
Give me your thoughts, Lorenzo. I know you had something to say.
Not really. I'm not really the person that watches a lot of the other matches,
Ooh.
honestly. But I can't speak on the mentality thing because I joined half season last time. Last season I joined mid-season, so I didn't catch the early losses, and I also just came back to Duel Links. So it was pretty fresh for me. And the only thing is, like in Clan was we have had that thing where we started 2-3, and it's like at that point you just don't want to play anymore. Like for me, Clan Wars isn't fun in general. Like I love Team Wars, but I'm not really a fan of Clan Wars. So like that obviously had part in it, but like just knowing that you have to win everything puts a lot of pressure on you, and you can't really have fun with the game.
Okay, I know you...
Yeah.
Oh, go, Sniff, let's go ahead.
Yeah, about that. So Destiny Draw, I don't know if Diffusion had that last season, but Destiny Draw definitely has it this season. They are missing some of their most important players because they're taking a break from the game right now. So yeah, they really need someone like Lorenzo to come in mid-season just so they can get out of the slump. Like, I don't really blame them because, you know, it's Karakuri meta, it's not the most enjoyable time period in the game, but they're really struggling with activity.
But I think it's more like what you said earlier, that it's just this current meta that they struggle to see clearly. Because, like, yeah, of course, there are other players like Bobby and Matsu and players that have done really well for them in the past.
Yeah.
But the players that are on this lineup are all like top 10 KC Cup players. They're really good players. It's like you don't really see them misplay much either. It's just that their lineup isn't good. As you said here, like 4 times they lost their pair to the same deck.
There were some misplays too, like not to call them out directly, but there were some mistakes from them. It just shows that they're not too into the game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see this game because it was like at an ungodly hour for Europe, but
Yeah, no, that's all very, very good information. Also, be raw. Say how you feel. Who cares? No one cares. But nonetheless, yeah, no, this is all very good information here. Again, first off, congrats to Sun Clan on getting this win. I know this was big for them, beating one of the most toughest teams out there. Definitely expect Destiny Draw to clearly, of course, not be a team to be counted out. There's no reason why they would not still be in the running for a being a championship team contender, potentially even a 2-time. So it could be very interesting. But yeah, no, this was definitely one of the most interesting ones I definitely wanted to pick up on. Hopefully after this week, maybe they get a more firm grasp on what they feel the meta is transitioning into, or currently is in the state of, especially with the new box coming out soon. So maybe that'll give them the new surge of life they're going to need to go ahead and kind of push forward, as well as some of the other teams that we're going to get onto later on. speaking of some of the other teams, let's go to Death Row versus Switcheroo. So now this was very, very interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and give my thoughts first before you guys do, because I'm selfish and don't care.
Go ahead.
So taking a look here, the first thing that shoots out at my mind here is, first off, congrats to Death Row, obviously beating Neo, a very strong team, when they had Act, Uno, and Salve all in the lineup. So that was very impressive. But first off, shout out to Virus for playing.
That's my boy.
Who would have thought? I thought that man was going to be retired for life, but after jumping from player position to leader for 2.5 seasons, he finally got in the game.
You know, people forget Virus is the guy who made Team Wars a thing. So, like, seeing him play, that's so good, honestly.
Yeah, very, very true. Yes, Virus being one of the OG creators of this and giving us one of the best community league tournaments we have to date, or team tournament events, whatever you want to call it out here. So congrats to him. Breaking even with 2-2 with Black Wings, making good use of their repeat versus Dark Magician. Very nice to see. Probably one of the few people I still even see playing Black Wings, but nonetheless, very, very nice. Still seeing Witchcrafters being played by Luxon, able to get a pretty decent score on there, going 3-2, 2 with Crafters, 1 with a Shiranui. One of their new members, Hisui, playing Trons and Karakuri, and then Dulling, a player who we don't often see play, able to kind of clutch it out here, giving them the win they need. So, if anyone has any thoughts, opinions, or anything that they pick out here specifically, feel free to go ahead and just kind of speak your mind.
Switcheroo brought some questionable decks, but I think that's just expected from Japan. Like the one Dragoonity, which obviously, I guess, just went 0-1, and Cyber Dragon, which went 1-2. Is, yeah, okay.
We faced Dragunity too this week. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, why does Japan like that deck so much? It's really not good.
Yeah, no. Honestly,
Trunade and win.
Yeah, but they're not even playing Trunade anymore. Aren't they just playing like 3 cards of Consonance now anyway?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't play it.
Oh, I mean, you shouldn't, bro, but whatever. Yeah, no.
Wait,
Yeah,
That's
is
like
the
me
one
bringing
deck you
Luna
don't
Lights.
play, or?
I don't care. So yeah, no, this was a very interesting. Yeah, no, I see there's a lot of different decks being brought here. It was very, very cool. I love the diversity, obviously. Again, the trend continues to be just, Invoke being everywhere. The last few match reports we've looked at, we've seen Dark Magician. DM, although it technically is not a tiered deck, still able to clearly make a run and has some type of life within at least the current format here over on this league. So definitely something to consider for any of the future teams out there based on this week's results, if you choose to play it or not.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I will say I am very surprised, because this is now, I believe, the 2nd week in a row I have seen Act and Uno not necessarily have the best records, and those are, in my opinion, some of the best players on Switcheroo. So I'm not sure if they're just getting unlucky. I didn't catch too much of this match personally, but nonetheless, I mean, with a score like this, 8-10, congrats, obviously, again, to Death Row for not getting their 2nd win of the season. Hopefully they can kind of trend back up to maybe get themselves in a better position going forward. But again, Switcheroo also, I do not expect them to be counted out either. Okay, now going on to the next match here, we have the Immortals versus the 12 O'Clock Cheaters. So 12 O'Clock Cheaters taking a very commanding win over here, going 10-3. 3 oops back to, oh Jesus.
That's the first time I saw that. I didn't
Yeah,
notice
me
that.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna speak this time first. You guys, I'm gonna reverse it with you. All right. So
I really don't want to be mean, but I don't know. Like Immortals lost Daedalus and Contrera, and they really are the best players. I'm sure they have other good players too, but they are the best players, and they lost them. And yeah,
right.
it's unfortunate.
When that happens, you kind of need someone to step up and like take control of the team, and I don't think they had that yet.
Yeah,
It's like you have to find your identity again, kind of.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. Andy, I haven't heard too much from you. Give me your thoughts on here. I want to hear what you think on this, if you're looking, of course.
I mean, they are in the same division than us, and like 12 o'clock cheaters is crazy. They are a new team also. I think they were from Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And when they win, they just stomped their opponent. Like, I think last week it was 10-3 as well, with one guy going 10-1 or something like that. This week it's 10-3. That's just crazy. Like, they stomp their opponents when they win, and I think they lost the other weeks, but the two wins, they were kind of impressive, just demolishing their opponent, kind of. I mean, it's Invoked Magician Girls again, like Lorenzo did for 2 games, and Karakuri. I haven't watched the game, but yeah, Karakuri can just do streak at this point. If you don't have any counters, well, they can just roll over the opponent, and I think that was what happened.
Yeah, no. The member you mentioned was Alicorn. He went 10-0 with Shiranui, opening up pretty insane. I believe he stated he opened Squire nine
games in a row.
Yeah,
10th one was Suzuki triple set.
Yes, no. Yeah, no. We've kind of talked about the we've talked about the luck factor playing a kind of a role within Team Wars. I know Lorenzo kind of mentioned it for himself as well as some of the other players here, but I mean, who needs to cheat when you have luck, right? Especially at 12 o'clock. So yeah, no, that was very good. Taking a look here, some things that I guess kind of is unfortunate here that I am questioning, to be honest. So I'm gonna direct this to one by one. Sniffus, you first. Give me your thoughts and opinions on the Dark Magician versus Invoked Magician Girls matchup.
It's really good, but you have to be careful because the berry triggers when you target it, but you can chain block it if you do that, then it doesn't trigger, and then you should win pretty easily.
Okay, perfect. Now shooting over to you, Lotso. Taking a look at this match report here, Breno SC played Sealed Tombs Dark Magician versus Invoked Magician Girls Draw Sense Dark. So taking a look, they had not used the repeat up to this point yet, but do you think that this was a key moment for them to use their repeat? And if so, do you think it was a bad decision for them not to use it?
Well, yeah, for sure. If your second deck's Karakuri, which Invoked Magician Girls is meant to beat.
Okay, all right.
Like, why would you repeat Shiranui and Trons afterwards, but not Dark Magician against Magician Girls?
Yeah.
I mean, they must have had a reason, but I don't think it's a good decision.
Yeah, no. As someone who personally, I mean, now that I've seen the light and the actual value of using a repeat early on so that things like this don't happen here, it was very interesting, and that was the first thing that jumps out at my mind. So I was a little confused on that. But nonetheless here, I definitely do expect Immortals to continue to kind of revamp themselves as they're getting back into it. Sniffus did mention earlier they did lose 2 of their very big key players, and I have talked to Viva on the side in regards to this, and they obviously are doing their best to make the necessary adjustments. So the only thing we can do going forward is just hope and assume the best for them. But nonetheless, very good on 12 o'clock cheaters part here, because as a team who didn't have necessarily the hottest start, they definitely are getting into the groove, I feel like, and they think they're making a very big statement by winning with such large margins like this. First you go 10-0 with Shira, and now you win 10-3. It's like you're definitely making a name for yourself, and you're definitely trying to show that you are a top tier contender. So definitely someone to keep out on. Andy, they are in your division, you stated, correct?
Yeah, I think so, because we played Immortals, if I remember correctly.
Yes. So, you know what? Let me save that question for later. I think that we kind of went on this a little well, in my opinion. So that's good here. Now going on to our next matchup. This is one that I definitely have some thoughts on. Sem versus Forbidden One. Sem taking the win 10-7. Some key things I'm just taking here. First off, shout out to Grim Zhao, man. in my opinion, if you don't have Grimshaw in your fantasy league, put him on every single week. This man is doing so good this season. He has been a complete monster, and he has been tearing left and right. I don't think there's been one single week where I haven't seen him streak. Personally, I'm not looking at paper, just personally watching this guy, I'm always seeing him go 4+ every single time. He is doing very, very well right now, and honestly, he has been in the game for quite some time, so obviously he is to be respected. So doing very, very good from him. Taking a look here, shout out to Xerix for the info in the chat, the little alley he's giving me right now. He's won 20 games in 4 matches. That's 5 matches per win. 5 wins per match. That's someone.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, like imagine you're on the lineup and then someone essentially is just doing half the work for you, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go get a beer."
He won 20 games in 3 matches.
4.
4-4.
Damn.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. So those are some key, good things I'm seeing right here. And he was able to streak with Kara Curry and SSA Trons, 2 of some of the most dominant decks right now currently in this format. So shooting over to you, Lotso, give me your thoughts if you have any on this actual match, or anything that seems key that you kind of picked out here.
Let's have a look. I mean, it's interesting to know that it's draw sense low level Kara instead of restart.
Yes.
That also brings a risk of its own if you get the Nanishi instead of the Merchant, but I mean, for Grimjow going 6 games, it was still a close war, so it's good on FO that they didn't give up afterwards, because I saw that like after Grimjow they still won 4 games.
Yeah, no, very good. Nonetheless, taking a look at this match report on Forbidden One's part, using those repeats at very good times here, using the level dupe Crystron repeat to go against the Kara Curry, assuming that it would be relatively well, which it did work out, which was good. Also, a key thing in my opinion was take Yuki using that repeat. After losing that game 1 to Kara Curry, playing Invoked here, that was also very, very good here. Nonetheless, it looks like a lot of things just didn't go in their favor. I personally did not watch this match, so I don't know if there are replays or anything, so I don't know if any of you either can really comment on it. But it was nice to see that Excalibur was attempting to make somewhat of a comeback here, streaking with SSA Crystron's and Drizzles' favorite deck, Sidra. Let's go.
That deck, bro.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I'm sorry, it's so bad. I just need to say that.
Every time I play Thunder Dragon on the LED, I realize how bad Sudra is. You put Aurora on board and you know you have won the game.
Anything with more than 2,100 attack and the deck can't out it.
If a classic joke is like, what do we side against Sudra? Big Shield Gardener.
I'm out of it.
Wait, but they can just attack it multiple times.
I mean, the deck can't out a Neos fusion, let's be real.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, if someone drops a Neos Fusion me in Team Wars in this meta, I'm asking for a deck check, bro. I don't know what this is. Oh my gosh, that'd be insane.
Okay, enough shooting on side row.
Yeah, no. Alright. Sorry, coronavirus. Oops. Alright, let's go ahead and go on to the next match here. Taking a look. Garuda versus MY. So, I talked about this.
God.
Yes. Oh god, yes. First words came to my mind. I talked about this with some of my friends in a private call here. We made some early predictions, and this is a prediction I made in favor of MY, and everyone called me crazy because I said they would be hungry for a win, and not only were they hungry, they dominated here. And to top it all off, they dominated against Garuda, who not only is a previous champion, but they also are doing very, very well. So,
Previous second, I don't think they won.
oh wait, they never. Oh my god, they didn't. Oh my god, they got second. Oh yeah, they got second.
Yeah.
Whatever. They did good then either way. Same diff. But yeah. All right. So shooting over to you next. Give me your thoughts on this match here. Just taking a look at it.
Man, so they won 2 games with Cyber Dragon, Core APK, and then Kara Curry did its thing. It just won 5 games, and then the thing with Kara Curry streaking early is it just eliminates everything. because nobody wants to send in the mirror match because it's just a coin flip. So it's like everyone sends every other deck, and then it inherently eliminates the other Karakuris because I just assume everyone else is playing Karakuri as a second deck. So if you just force the repeats, they're just done. But I'm looking at this whole match report, and they only repeated once with Karakuri into Cyber Dragon, which I think is a weird choice. But I'm looking, and it looks like they didn't really have much of a Karakuri out aside from the one Magician Girls, which they did not repeat. And then they sent in another invoked Roids, the worst version, and that lost as well. I'm questioning why they didn't repeat with either of those decks, honestly, because they had 3 chances to repeat with it, and they did not do it. So, I don't know. Because Zerdy had it. Okay, Zerdy couldn't repeat, sorry about that. But Alias, whatever his name is, and Dragon, they both could have repeated, and they didn't, and they lost. So, I feel that one was lost in them not using the repeat early, honestly.
Yeah, no, this one was definitely different. I mean, everyone here is a player in Team War, so we all know that Karakuri is a deck that can streak and can really... Sometimes things can get out of your hand, and we're clearly seeing a display of that here. But I will say this: shout out to Carisi. I really don't want to mispronounce your name, so
Carisu, I think.
I don't know. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it in a way that's not offensive. Nonetheless, because taking a look here at the roster from MY, MY was previously 0-5 up until this point, so getting their first win in Week 6 was very, very good for them. But the fact that the streak came from him as opposed to, honestly, Doctor, who we all know is a very strong player, especially after his results from last season, was very, very different. And Lorenzo, you're a member on Diffusion. I know you weren't in the lineup, but you may not remember this. Oh, wait, no, you were in the lineup, but you may not remember. Citrus was one of the players who, in your matchup versus him, was the guy who nearly pulled a reverse sweep on you guys and was able to go ahead and almost clutch it out with Dark Magician. So this is now the second time he's been the closer and anchor. So I'm not sure if you have any thoughts or opinions on that.
I honestly, was it last season or this season?
It was this season. This was like maybe like 2 weeks ago. You guys played versus them, I think.
Oh, I was benched for a few weeks.
What? No, I thought you played.
That's me.
I thought you played Black Wings. I don't know. I have to go back and check.
I definitely didn't play Black Wings. I would not agree to that.
Yeah. Alright, so I'll go ahead and speak on it. Yeah, so taking a look here, it looks like MY continues to have Citrus kind of being their anchor guy to try to attempt to close things out, always in the back. And it looks like, honestly, he's been doing a really good job at it. Unfortunately, although the last few times I haven't been able to see him kind of close things out, but it looks like this time it finally worked out in their favor, so...
Maybe... if there's anything to take away from this match is that Roid are garbage.
Yes. We have continued...
Yes, very much so.
Yes, no. We've continued to see that Roids are definitely not only downtrending, but... I think the last time we saw Roids actually do well was from Master Cards when he played them. But even then, right now, it clearly appears that Invoke Magician Girls is definitely it's definitely the way right now, so.
The problem with the deck is that they just want to get Kiteroid and live until they can get to an Alistair, but like, sometimes that's not good enough.
Yeah. Especially
if you're just sitting on back row, I don't know.
Yeah, especially with a lot of these decks right now. Like I said, Karakuri is one of the most dominant decks right now. We've seen many people been taking in cards like Necro Valley in there, which is shutting down, honestly, a lot of these decks. So definitely a key factor also.
It's not even that, because I remember when, like, even we used to send Invoke Roids into the Kara matchup as a counter. The problem there is, like, if your strategy is to Kiteroid and then draw into an Alistair, by then Karakuri just card advantage you out of the game. Like, you will never see the light.
Yeah, the problem is that they also have defense. Like, cheese decks, okay, if you stop their OTK and follow up with Alistair, you can probably kill them, but Karakuri, they have like 3 back row as well, and you just can't kill through that.
Like, people
And if you
laughed
have
at
to
me.
take 4 or 5 turns until you play, by then they will 100% have free life back row.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you want to like sit on an undestructible, untargetable monster, just run Luna Lights. Like that sounds like a joke, but they can do it better than Roids. Honestly, I mean, I'm not joking. Like Luna Lights would be better than Roids in this meta. If your point is to make a Cocytus and sit on it, if I can just draw a Luna Light fusion and they don't negate it, you just win. But that's just my whole point. Is Roids suck? Don't play it. Yeah.
Agreed.
Roids suck, don't play it. Love and concise. Love it, man. And this is coming from the Luna Light expert too. Yeah, Sham, I agree. Alright, so going on to our next match here. One of the... Alright, so I'm gonna be honest here. Probably one of the most surprising results from probably a game I really didn't anticipate or really plan on watching that much. Just being blunt. I mean, obviously I did watch it. I love Team Wars. I watch everything, but this is not one that I expected here. Like, taking a look, I'm going to swap it back to you guys. I want you guys to give me your thoughts first. Divine losing 9-10 to Kings.
That's crazy. I didn't watch this because I thought that would be totally different, but even with a DC win too from Divine.
Be blunt, Sniffus. Tell me, what did you expect this? What did you expect it to be? Be blunt.
I don't know, like, but I definitely expected Divine to win this, like, at the very least. And then, like, maybe a streak because, I don't know, they really like to bring sack decks, so I thought they could just streak them with that, but apparently not.
Okay, you're tiptoeing. Lorenzo, say it.
Yeah, that's definitely an LMAO, pal.
Alright. Alright, Andy, what are your thoughts on here? What did you expect from this, you and Lotso?
I actually watched the end of the game, I think, and I think it was one of the games was the highlight of my week when, like, Lux he lanced his own Star Eater when he attacked into a wall of steel. And everybody just said, "Oh boy, what is he doing?" And then he just had another lance for lethal anyways. That was just... I don't think it was... I don't know if it was just BM or if he was like, okay, I'm winning anyways, but it was so crazy. But in the end,
I mean,
they finally took their win. Like, I think they were close in 2 games, if I remember correctly. Kings, but
I don't know.
yeah, I think it was an upset for most.
Kings
Why
were
is there
down
both
8 to
Leos? What
9. Yeah, I saw that.
Can someone explain that?
Endless trap hell, bro.
Wait. Give me your thoughts, Lotso. Yeah, Lotso's left.
And they won a game, by the way. Like,
yeah.
Wait, what the...
Was it against Sidra?
no, it was Dark Magician. I don't...
Alright.
I mean, let's give some credit to Kings. They won their first game, and I think this is also their first season. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
congrats.
I mean, I remember watching this game, and I was really frustrated by it because Kings were up, I don't know, 8-5 or 8-6 or something, and it looked like they were gonna win. And I mean, I wanted them to win because it's good for us for Divine to lose. And then they started making some, I don't want to be rude, but questionable plays.
They misplayed.
I mean, they threw like 3 games in a row. And I was like, okay, they're really going to throw this away because that was 9-8. And then they won by drawing Squire twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a weird game.
Alright. So, I'm gonna give my very blunt, unfiltered thoughts here because this was very surprising to me. So, being blunt, so first off, shout out to Dishonorable. He's a guy I've been hanging out with lately. Very cool, very young, but very skilled player in my opinion. Definitely like him. I tried my best to kind of prepare with him going to this matchup because this would be his first time. One thing I can pick out here is take a look at his pair. The first thing on his pair is he is on Black Wings and SSA Crystons, right?
Uh-huh.
We were in a call and we were talking, and I said, this pair is going to be bad because you're going to lose to Shiranui. this is literally a pair that loses to Shira. And he was like, yeah, but I don't know. We'll just see what happens. And then he comes back. He goes, Cosmic, I lost to Shiranui. And I said, okay, thank you. I'm glad to see that I was right here. So that happened. Also, King Rudy is a guy who's been playing Shiranui for a while, and actually is pretty good right now with the deck, or at least performing pretty well based off his Clan Wars and just overall other community events. So I'm not surprised that he was able to win 2 games with it. I will be surprised because honestly, one of the most, probably if not one of the most dominant players, the most dominant pal on Divine, Victor Lee. I expected Victor to honestly win like 4 to 6 games by himself. Especially after last week's performance. Yes, there definitely was some involved in them clearly beating Destiny Draw, but nonetheless, Victor Lee, it's not like he's a scrub or anything. Definitely is an accomplished and well-known player. Levi-san also, we saw him do very, very well last week. So I would not be surprised if he was going to streak again. I was expecting him to go maybe 3-2, but it looks like he broke even with a 2-2, which is fine. Same with Victor Lee, but I expected a much higher score from those two. I expected Dishonorable's pair to be changed, which it didn't, which it lost to Shiranui, which was dumb. The disconnect loss definitely sucked here. But nonetheless, I don't think it should have honestly impacted that match that much where he couldn't have won another game or so. Again, I didn't watch the game that much, but when I came towards the end, I kind of was like, well, okay, whatever, this just happened. And then Lucas, I believe he was an all-star last season with me, I think.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, no. So honestly, I mean, going 3-2, he did his job. Definitely was fine. It does suck that his Curry streak did end, especially after the fact that he was able to 2-0 draw Sense Invoked, which really is the counter for Curry, or should be on paper. So it was kind of unfortunate to see that he beat 2 countering decks just to wind up losing to Shiranui, which essentially, if you go first, you kind of should beat Shira, so I'm assuming he didn't, or kind of just bricked. And then after that, the fact that he lost the Shiranui mirror match not only displays the skill of King Rudy, but there definitely were some things here where I kind of was like, oof, this is tough. Obviously, congrats to Kings on getting their first win here. I know 100% Victor Lee was pissed off about this, because, I mean, it's Victor, bro. He's always angry when he loses. Like, come on, pal. But, damn. That's really just it. Nonetheless, I expect them to go ahead and do better next week, both teams. Kings obviously on a complete high right now, considering how they just won. I hope that they get more wins going forward. I definitely expect Divine to make some necessary changes into the upcoming week. Primarily dishes pairs. Please give him a different pair that doesn't lose to one deck. And yeah. Okay.
That's what. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, nah. Maybe they'll make changes. If not, I don't care. It's not my team. Rookies versus Toon Squad. Poggers. Okay.
This is why we're on the same team.
This is why we're friends.
Oh god.
Brutally honest.
Again with the meme pair. He plays Dragoonity every single week.
Bruh. What? This is the third Dragoonity we've seen?
I think the second, right? I think it was Switcheroo
Yeah.
and Rookies.
Nope, it's
Actually, no.
it's
they
the
also
third.
brought-
It's
I
the
also
third.
played
It's the
versus
third?
one.
We
Yeah, I also played versus one.
We played versus it. I remember that.
yeah.
Oh,
Wait, actually,
Yeah.
wait. Bricks played
then
versus
it's
one.
Yeah.
We played
I
versus
played.
one.
It was
Death
very
Row played
weird.
versus one. This is the 4th Dragoon. Oh my god.
Yeah, I
And they
don't
all
understand.
lost,
Why do
didn't
you
they?
bring this deck? It's not good.
They're all from Asian teams, right?
Yeah.
And they all lost.
Yes.
They all lost.
So a key thing to pick out here is I don't know if you guys are involved with any of the other like Japanese Team Wars leagues. So kind of a fun fact. I've played in various leagues over there. The meta is completely different. Like the ideas they have are so different every time. Like they'll come with deck. Like I know you guys might have Twitter, at least can keep up with guys like Soon, and you see their builds are always really different compared to what they have here, and they're really inventional. So I don't know if Dragooni's popping off in Japanese Team Wars, but it's clearly not working over here. But that's just that. So taking a look here, so before I make my comments, I want you guys to go ahead and take a look. Outside of that Dragoonity, is there anything that stands out to you, anything that you question, etc.? And I'm going to be starting out asking that question directly to Lotso first.
I mean, there's another Karakuri streak. Like, that deck has to go. I mean, it's just boring. Like, you restart, and if you don't break, you go first. And I mean, if there's no needle sealing, there's a big chance you win. Yeah, I find it a really boring deck. It's not fun to play. But yeah, they won 4 games with Karakuri, I think.
Yep.
So they only brought 1, actually. Oh no, they might have brought more, but we didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One thing, and go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay, so one thing I want to point out, I just want to say this to Konami. What are you thinking with this restart nerf? You just made them play traps to be more able to play through stuff.
Versatile.
It's like, at least back before this, they had like, Trinade and Sack. Now it's, okay, I'm going to set up my board so you can't play turn 3. Like, that should not have been the restart nerf. It should have been, you put a card back in your deck and you cannot draw. Or maybe you can't activate anything turn 1, like dual standby. That's the problem, is Karakuri being able to draw off of every single time off of Burrito, but also because they don't care about restarts drawback, because they only need one card to beat you. They only need one card, and that's the problem with the deck.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's just my little rant, but yeah.
Yeah. Before I give my comments, shooting over to you, Andy, is there anything that you see here or want to really make comments on in this match?
I mean, we see like another Crystron again. It doesn't matter if it's level tube or SSA. Like, Crystron's putting in a lot of work in, like, all over basically all the match reports like Karakuri. So I think these should be the 2 best decks in the match, in the meta analysis when we look at it, but I would be surprised if it's not.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw this match, but there were a lot of things that happened that were really weird.
Are you saying they misplayed again? Or...
So, yes.
I saw something in the chat about saying no to Simoon's
Yes,
effect.
so I saw this live on stream. So let me give you this. I'm gonna give you a breakdown, bro. I'm sitting down at home. I've got my food. I've got a nice drink. I got a little Corona on the side. You know, I'm chilling. I'm watching. I'm just eating. You know, I look up and then I see Whirlwind Simoon, and I'm like, oh, sick. And then I blink. I'm like, why is Simoon in the graveyard? And they're saying, you click no to Simoon. I'm like, he what? He just like willingly he didn't. He just clicks no, and I'm like, damn, that's tough. But he has the Zephyro, so I'm literally just like, dude, this guy has like the nuts, man. Like, that's actually insane. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, no, that was tough.
I don't understand. How does that happen? How do you click no on that? I've only ever seen that happen twice. Well, now it's 3 times. But how?
I don't know, bro. That's just funny. I think he was just trying to go through the combo fast, and then he messed up and went, oh crap.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't you say yes to Whirlwind next anyway? Like,
I don't know,
at what
bro.
point do you need to click no?
Would you ever say no in Blackpink?
Yeah, that's like only Orochi you sometimes say no. All other cards just require you to click yes.
Floodgate.
Yeah, that's also
true.
true.
That's funny, man. I don't know.
Alright, going on to our next match here. Definitely expect 2 and Squad to do better going forward. Hopefully not better this week, because bias comment, we're playing versus them this week, so I want to win. So
yeah, I hope they brick.
I hope you brick and click no to Simoon again in other cards.
Bro, I always say that in chat before match, and everyone gets so mad at me.
Yeah, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's all friendly play.
Yep.
Okay, next. Smog. First, I'm gonna let you make comments on this. All right, I'm gonna shoot my first comment over to you, Sniffus. Smogon taking it 10-8 versus Claw Clan. So
I didn't see this match, but Ma going 0-2, I've never seen that before in my life, so that's unusual.
yeah, no. Taking a look here. First off, congrats to Smogon here. They had a kind of relatively kind of rocky start here, but definitely trying to pick back in the groove here. Neck making the comment I thought was the biggest highlight. It was streamed on YouTube by.
Oh, this was that one.
This
that was crazy.
This
that was the craziest cast. I didn't understand a single word, but it was epic.
Dude, let me tell you, that is the best casting I have ever seen. I've ever seen. The mic, the music, the voice impressions. Dude, he even knew my owner from my Japanese league, so he was like saying my name. I was like, I don't know if he's making fun of me or something. I was like, oh, he likes me. This guy's so cool. Dude, Neil-chan, dude, he's literally God. That man is insane, dude. Get him on Twitch. I don't know where he needs to do, but he needs to come here. He is a monster. Complete monster.
One thing I noticed with like Asians, they usually love streaming on YouTube. I remember playing in a bunch of like, Duel Links Taiwan and Japanese tournaments. And they always stream it on YouTube. I don't know if that's their thing, but it's kind of cool to switch it up every once in a while.
Yeah, no, it's definitely never. One thing I honestly don't know. I think teams have done this before, but I want them to start doing this. Honestly, I want them to allow. First off, Xerix, this is $1 million idea. Give me 40% if you take this. I'm gonna patent it. I would like to see, since this is now an international league, and we know we have designated streamers for certain teams like Ponko. You want to see guys like, I want to see Ponko streaming like Team Wars in like his native language for the rest of the community over there for the Japanese/Chinese, etc. As well as seeing like an English caster for like for the same game, just so like there's a variety of broadcasting, because I know a lot of people would like to see it in their mother tongue, and to be honest, I think there's a lot of guys who, although can't speak English, it's not like it's the only language in the world. I know a lot of guys probably would like to see it in their mother tongue, so that could be really, really nice. But again, if you take it, I want 40%. $1 million idea. Don't touch it. But actually focusing on the match outside of the caster, which again was probably the best part about that. Very, very nice to see that. First off, Blarjan clutching it out 2-0 after his recent success with Weather Painters in the Meta Weekly. Very nice to see that he's kind of getting some luck over here on the side. I'm still waiting to see Kamikaze. He's kind of had a rough, shaky start since coming back, so we all know Kamikaze is a very good player. So potentially we could see him, kind of start to doing a little bit better once he starts to feel that he's confident to kind of come back into the lineup. This is now the second time so far in these results that we've seen Black Wings go 2+. So that was nice to see from Sporific. There's nothing really notable that I saw within this matchup, except the fact that I am questioning why they brought Evil Eye as their anchor deck. Like, Nix, you're an Evil Eye expert. Give me your thoughts on that.
It's not good in this matter, honestly. Like, it was good versus, like, element sabers, being able to just banish the sabers and being untargetable. But, like, in this matter, it even struggles versus Magician. Not really. But, like, if you target the berry, they're going to get something from the deck, and then they're going to start looping. So, like, even that matchup is a bit iffy. But, like, in this meta, I can't see one deck you would send that in versus. Because I can see Shiranui, actually. But even then, it doesn't really beat the combo variant. Of course, more people are playing the control variant nowadays. But even then, it's like if they have back row going first and you're Evil Eye and you don't open Storm, you're going to lose. Straight up. So I can see it being made as a Shiranui counter, but other than that, I can't see it.
Yeah,
that's always the problem with Evil Eye. Like, if you go first and set up the combo, I guess there are some winning matchups. But if you go second, you just lose to every single interruption.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's all I have to say about this. Other than that, Shout out to Neo-chan, man. Anytime you want to cast, please do it on Twitch. If not, I'm coming to YouTube and finding you, bro. You are fantastic. He is my favorite quote-unquote Japanese comedian. So, going over to this match here, Neo versus X Hunters, going 8-10.
It's just like a classic Neo match. They just bring so many meme decks for no reason, like Weather Painters and Megalith, and yeah, that lost the match.
The last deck was Megalith.
Alright, shooting back up to you a lot. So give me your thoughts on this match. Take a look here. If there's anything that stands out or that you really want to make any comments on.
I mean, Neo's a bit weird this season. Like, they've been good, I think. I mean, yeah, they do bring some meme decks, but they've gotten a lot of wins the last 2 seasons, and this season they're just, I don't know, going overboard with the memes. Like, if his last 2 decks were good, they could have won this war. Like, I don't know. Yeah, with like such consistent decks like Shira, Cristrons, and Karakuri, you shouldn't bring memes, I think. But
I just noticed what's worse is they brought Weather Painters comboed with Megalith. So
yeah, they pair the meme decks together. That's the worst part. Like, what do you expect when you pair like 2 very niche decks? Of course, it's gonna go all 2, or like 1-2 here.
like I could see one as the counter, but like both as on the same player, I have no idea.
Yes. Lorenzo, any thoughts on this here specifically? Anything you want to say?
Bro, I mean, meme decks, I'm the man for that, and I can speak on... You have to pick memes that are actually competent. Like, there's no point in playing Megalith, ever. The deck is super high input and super low reward. It's hard to play, but it's so easy to play against. There's no... Your literal only win con is your opponent not reading Ritual Cage.
Coming from the meme man himself, he says, if I won't even play it, you should not play it either.
I mean, I agree with him. I bring memes too. It's like when you play a meme, it has to be to like either be to counter the meta or for a certain reason. Like when I played Luna Lights, it was literally just to beat Karakuri going second because I know they couldn't target the big girl. But like Megalith has nothing positive about them.
Megalith lost its only positive matchup in E-Saber, and since then it's basically just a check. It's like, if your opponent doesn't place Cosmic Cyclone, then you might win a game going first, but other than that, you can never win.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Going off, giving my own personal thoughts. First off, congrats to X-Hunters finally getting their first win of the season here. Despite such a rough, shaky start, now being 1-6. Or 1-5, whatever you want to put it as. Very, very good. It is interesting. Hisoka, from what I'm seeing here, has kind of been the MVP of the team. Consecutively getting 3 or 4 plus wins per game. Very, very good. I believe this is the first time we're seeing Roy play this season. Very, very good. Asu also getting some of his first wins this season. Very, very interesting. The Weather Painters and Megalith pair, very weird, especially considering how it didn't even do well last week and they brought it. They brought it twice. They brought it versus Forbidden Memories and they lost too.
Yeah.
And they also lost 8-10 then too, I think. So they're literally losing with the exact same score because the exact same pair is not doing anything.
Yeah, I just don't know what they expect.
The pair doesn't even make sense. Both decks lose to hard back row removal.
Yeah. The one thing I have to say about bringing a meme, I say if you're going to bring it, you lead with it. You never want that deck in the back. Because if it comes down to a grind, and you'd be like, oh, we have this deck in the back. Oh, we're kind of screwed, you know?
You know what perfectly describes this? What's that meme that Yami made? Where it says, it's me, the guy who's 8-0, and me, the team saved me because of 2 meme decks. It literally perfectly describes this. Like, and this has happened 2 weeks for them in a row. So, I think they just want to try it again. Unless they have high faith in these 2 decks specifically, I'm hoping that for the sake of Neil, that they kind of just drop this pair altogether and can kind of, move on to something else, but that's not my call to make. And it's not my team, so oh well. I don't know. Neo again. Neo's very a strong team. They've performed very well in a lot of other tournaments. We got Suyu doing super well. He just won an MCS recently. All these other players obviously strong also. So again, none of these teams will be counted out, but definitely clearly seeing adjustments that need to be made just for the chance to even try to win. Okay. Now, this game, I'm going to start off with Lorenzo giving your comments. Starting with BZ being tier 0, 10-7. Probably one of the most anticipated matches of the week. I loved to be able to cast this. Shout out to Xerax and shout out to Urbel for casting with me here. Again, not sure if you saw this, but just taking a look at the sheet, give me your thoughts on here and kind of tell me how it went down or how you're feeling on it.
You have to get me up to speed because I think we played exactly at the same time. We had Clan Wars exactly there.
Oh man, that sucks.
Or John or whatever.
Yeah, what about
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck?
Jesus. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I guess I'll shoot over to you, Sniffus. I'm not sure if you saw this here.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Yes, you were in chat. You were in chat. I remember. Yes, go.
Yeah, this one was quite unfortunate. I mean, it's Chris in chat.
No, he's
Okay, he's not. So
he's sulking.
his opponent had a flat-gated Casitas, and he had the Burai, and he just didn't flip it up for 4 turns in a row until the opponent drew his out. And I don't know what went through his mind, because like the first half of the game was played perfectly. He grinded this out versus Magician Girls, going second. He just used his resources so well, he didn't combo, and then he just forgets to flip up a Casitas. And I don't know what went through his mind that he just missed that completely.
Yeah, no, that was one of the comments I made when I was talking with Urbel. Literally, in the on the stream, I literally said Chris had played this immaculately. He played amazing. This was probably some of the best playing I have honestly seen, and probably throughout the entire game. But unfortunately, like you said, he did make that simple mistake. And honestly, I think the way I put it, I think Chris went Jimmy Neutron here. His brain was so big he didn't even see the little things. Like he was like, ooh, do this, and this. He was 12 steps ahead every time, but he just could not close it out. And honestly, I think it kind of sucks because we all know Chris is a very strong player, and we know that he's had a lot of unfortunate hands in Team War, so his record's not the best. But I think, I'm gonna be blunt, I don't really care. I think this was the crucial moment in this match, because I think if Chris won that, I think they would have won the war.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I think another key point is the next air. He time limit lost. Oh, I didn't even know that he time limit lost in the mirror. That's surprising. And I'm surprised they didn't, like, they took the risk not repeating, even though Invoke Magician Girls is like really bad into SSA Christian, but it worked out for them. So that was pretty good.
yeah, seeing that the Invoke Magician Girls there was still going to be used as opposed to the repeat, Ned clearly was kind of, or at least from what I was anticipating as, was not in a spot where he said, I don't want a mirror match again. Because if you remember, I believe Neg in that mirror match had a pretty unfortunate hand. Like, it was not good at all, but just because he's such a highly skilled player, he was able to go ahead and kind of, you know, grind it out.
Wasn't it?
Huh?
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Oh, you can't. Oh, you
You
can't.
couldn't repeat. We already won the game.
You know what? I knew that, but Sniffus threw me off, so I'm angry at you, Sniffus. What you did.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Lame sniffers.
But yeah, no. Honestly, I don't know. I think Neg, honestly, throughout his game showed a clear display of just... This is why he went #1 global and was always such a top contender during these KC Cups. Just really showing how good he was. Shooting over to you, Lorenzo. I already shot over to you. So let's go to you, Lotso. Give me your comments and thoughts on this BZ versus Tier 0 match, if you saw it, and just taking a look at the sheet here.
I just got back. Let's have a look.
Yeah, take your time, man. Well, not too much time. It's been an hour 30.
There's double Karakuri from Chris. It looked like he was gonna go on like a real run. I think then he bricked and lost. I'm not sure, but I mean, double Karakuri. I mean, he lost both decks to Invoke Magician Girls, as you would think. But they've done well with that combo when they opened it. I think Jason like streaked with it once, like 7 or 8 wins.
Yeah, he went 8
2 weeks ago or something, or 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I know Tier Zero really believes in like Karakuri being the best deck. So I mean, it makes sense from that point to just bring double, but I'm personally not a fan. We don't bring double decks, but it could have worked out. But here you see it didn't because they lost both of them to the same deck. Other than that, a lot of Karakuri wins again in this war. Like 3 from Maples at the start, 2 from Chris, 1 from Jason. And also Invoked. Yeah, Toby won it with Invoked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's clearly 3 decks here that get the most wins. It's Magician Girls, Karakuri, and Crystron, and then Shira also a couple streaks.
Yeah.
But, let's hope the new box changes this.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Some what's the word? Some key things I noticed here that was a little different. So first off, BZ is definitely kind of a Shiranui enthusiast type of team. They clearly love the deck, a lot of its players do. But we didn't see the Shira revealed until Toby came in at the end, so clearly they brought a limited amount. This is also one of the few times where we've seen BZ win and we've not seen Sakura play. Although he was in the lineup, typically we see Sakura going at some point, but looks like he was able to catch a break with the rest of his teammates kind of doing the job for him, which was very, very nice. So that was a little interesting here. Also, the very interesting on the fact that they chose to bring Dark Magician. Taking a look here, we're not seeing many teams are really bringing DM, so the fact that essentially was in the back means they really were anticipating that it would streak, and it looks like unfortunately it just didn't work out for Jason, so that kind of does suck.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Nick on this one. Dark Magician is not good. I don't know why they brought it. It's well, it's a deck for bad players, but then Jason played it, and now I'm very surprised. But
well, Max K, DM enthusiast, is going to be very upset to hear that, so I hope you know this.
I mean, right now.
I can kind of understand bringing it as like a one of the counter one specific deck. So I guess that's why it was in the back, because I assume they brought it to beat Magician Girls, but it's not really a greatly favored matchup. I mean, it is, but still, like that's why it was in the back there. It's just because they didn't have the counter to send it in versus until Toby came in with it.
I mean, it does decent against Chira and Magician Girls or Roids, but with all those decks like playing Bad Aim and Ballista Squad, I think there are better options.
Look, being blunt here, honestly, if you're looking for a Shira counter, I think you're honestly just... I don't see why you're just not playing Karakuri with like a main deck Neck or Valley. Like the thing is, although it might not be a direct counter, not only is a deck that can win, but it also can streak a lot more than DM can typically. And plus, honestly, it's just a lot stronger, so it's like, why not?
Let me give you a play to beat Dark Magician with Invoked Magician Girls. Just normal summon Barry and pass.
If they chain block with Raw, they lose.
Yeah, they can chain block it. That's the way. But maybe they don't think of it, I guess, or something. I don't know.
But
they
going
don't draw.
You always have to keep in mind that they are Dark Magician players. Don't overestimate them.
Fair point.
Jesus.
I mean, that's a fair point, but this was Jason playing it, though, so I mean, I think he knows that you can do that.
The problem with Dark Magician as a deck is it must go first to build up its board, and even then, that's not enough sometimes.
Yeah, and it can't top deck out of anything. Like, there's no one card in the end.
Contrary to popular belief, Dark Magician is not a consistent deck.
Even with balance. I made this comment on stream, I'm gonna make it again. It was funny, I was like, Tier 0 has some of the best players, and they gave the guy who went to World's Ties to play a Insect Dark Magician deck. I was like, alright, this is cool.
Yeah, just it doesn't make sense to me.
It's called wasting resources.
Jesus. Nah, they'll be fine though. TZ, I mean, still clear in a good spot where they can go in and jump up. Wait, he asked to play DM? Was he joking? Actually, I don't want to find out. I don't
And
care.
they have to check up on him.
It. I can understand why he brought it, but they just didn't face Magician Girls until near the end.
I don't
That's
know.
what caused
Tier
it.
0's broken. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Going on next.
To be fair, they didn't even want to risk to repeat the Dark Magician against the Invoked Magician Girls.
Yeah, I mean at that,
That
point
was-
you have to rely on the streak because it's 7-9, and Dark
Yeah.
Magician cannot win 3 in a row.
Yeah, at that
Karakuri
point,
can.
he had to go to that.
Yeah.
It's like relying on Dark Magician is like, no.
Yeah, but that kind of sucks that they had it in for like Invoked Magician Girls probably, and then they couldn't even use it because I don't know what happened in the game, if it bricked or what happened, but it kind of sucks to lose it then
They
if it's
just
planned to
didn't
beat
face it,
Magician
man.
Girls. No,
like
he lost against Magician Girls.
Oh, that's what you meant. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lost.
Yeah. Alright, well,
I
that
think
was
he probably
unfortunate.
went second. He probably went second versus the Ballista squad and just died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
just
know.
like there's just some things that are completely out of your control that can go wrong and that just lose you the game immediately.
yeah, no. Like, nonetheless, it's not like... I mean, we already kind of know... Me and Urbel kind of had similar feelings in the stream. There's only maybe 1 to 2 questionable things that we saw throughout this war. And even then, I mean, the war overall still was played very, very well. Everyone did a fantastic job. And nonetheless, these are still 2 teams where they're still going to be easily contenders. So, this...
It was a nice war to watch, yeah.
Yes, this was probably my favorite war of the week, and I definitely want to get more wars like this going forward, but that's going to at least wrap up the match reports portion of it. It took super long, honestly. I'm kind of pissed off at myself for letting it run that long, but I don't care. We'll go into the next part. So now we're going to kind of delve into the actual meta and take a look at the meta analysis here. So starting out on the screen, no surprise here, obviously. I'm going to ask you your comments going forward. Karakuri being the most dominant or brought deck, as well as with the most wins. Invoked following up second, Hiranui third, SSA Crystron's fourth, which is honestly a little surprising. I'm assuming it definitely had a bit of a surge up considering how his recent success in the MCS. Followed up by Dark Magician. Followed up by regular Crystron's, most likely level dupe. Followed by Blackwing, Sidra, Ghost Meets Girl, Hero, Invoked Droids, Witchcrafters, Dragoon, Ritual Beast.
So funny.
Wait, Dragoon did better than Ritual Beast?
No,
No.
Drag Unity
Oh,
won
no,
0 games.
Yeah, 4 were brought in 1-0. Nice.
Yes, Dragoonity did trash. It was horrible. Goki going 2 and 4. Ritual Beast, Weather Painters, Invoked Neos. Even Invoked Neos won a game. Like, come on, bro. That's insane. Megaliths and Evil Eye. So, shooting up to you, Lorenzo, are you really surprised by this meta-analysis? What are your comments on it, thoughts, etc.?
Yeah, it's pretty sad that it's stale as fuck, but like we've been playing this for months. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
Like everything's the same. I just think like Crystron is still undervalued for some reason, which I don't know how that can still happen.
Yeah, very true. All right, shooting up to you, Andy. Give me your comments on this. Anything you see that's key here? Any comments, etc.?
I think it's what we kind of expected with Karakuri, Magician Girls, Shira, and Crystron's. And like, even if we look at Dark Magician, it's like they have 50% win rate, kind of accurately, so they just take out one deck and lose the game after it. That's also what we just discussed. So there's nothing really, really crazy. Maybe Blackwings could go up in the next week again, I don't know. That's kind of low because people stopped playing it. But yeah, other than that.
Very understandable. Sniffus, taking a look here, is there anything that really stands out to you or that you view as surprising or that you did not expect?
Honestly, this seems like a really nice representation of the meta. I'm happy that Invoked Magician Girls went up so far compared to last week, because that deck was extremely underrated last week, and now it's like finally where it should be, because it really should be like the second most played deck. Maybe Crystron should be a bit higher, but like you gotta combine the SSA Crystron and the level dupe. And a Dark Magician is higher than I thought. That's one like that. Yeah, that's kind of weird. But I guess if people really value it that highly as a counter, I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm not gonna speak too much on this here. Taking a look. So now that I kind of asked half you, I'm gonna ask the other half, the next set of this. Taking a look at the meta-analysis here on the screen here. Going over to you first next. Right now we see that obviously, a lot of good things have some really surprising matchups. Looking at Karakuri going against DM, looks like it's appearing to have a 100% win rate. Oh, despite it being 0-2, oh, that's one thing that we're noticing here. Heroes also doing pretty well against Karakuri, etc. So give me your thoughts. Is there anything that stands out? Anything that you feel that's key or good for the future weeks, etc.?
I feel like this is exactly how I expected it. It's a Karakuri meta. You're either countering it or going to beat it, or you're just playing it or countering it. And the other decks are just like, okay, so you send in Karakuri, what beats Karakuri? Magician Girls, what beats Magician Girls? I'll send this deck. Dark Magician, what beats Dark Magician? Oh, Black Wings or something that can play through. It's just this loop that's created by Karakuri being on top. The one thing I noticed is Heroes have a 100% win rate versus Karakuri. Is that right?
Yep.
Well,
I
it's
think
2 games
he
only,
just-
so like.
Yeah.
I think he just sacked him. He just went
Yeah,
second
like
and
just
sacked
go
him.
second 2 games with Stratos Faris and 2 CCs
Yeah.
and Mask, and yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. This meta honestly just needs to die. These decks have been here for way too long. Like the newest deck has been Karakuri, but that's just because of one card, and that deck has been back in 2019. Like all of these decks, I think, have been here for almost a year at this point. We just need something new, but the problem is they power crap the game to the point where everything they release has been trash. That these nuked decks are still better than everything else. That's
They're
my
very
standpoint.
selective about which decks they give their good cards.
Yes,
Especially in terms of consistency cards. They're way too selective with it.
and I feel like them releasing the level 5 for Karakuri, they fully didn't expect it to be good. They're like, oh, yeah, take this as a throwaway, and then it just dominated.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. But the meta representation, it's just how it is. Everyone expected these decks to be good. Dark Magician has 50% win rate because it's just meant to counter one deck. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Honestly, the only thing that stands out to me is the fact that DM was played this heavily. Other than that, honestly, everything else really is not too surprising to me.
My viewpoint on Dark Magician is, I think, in our standpoint, is you bring one to go 1-for-1 with a certain deck. That's why Dark Magician's played so much. It's like, okay, we fully expect them to bring, like, Invoked. So let's just bring one DM to counter that. That's my standpoint on bringing. I think everyone else feels that way, but no one expects that deck to streak at all. Like, we might cut it this week, who knows? Because having it in the back is just a liability of a deck. It just is.
Yeah. Like my take on it is there's other decks that do the same thing as Dark Magician, like can counter Magician Gods. For example, this is Akristron, but
I agree.
Akristron is just not nearly as vulnerable as Dark Magician is in other matchups.
Yeah, I think a lot of people brought Dark Magician over Crystron's just because most people don't know the deck. I'll tell you right now, I don't know the deck. I refuse to play it.
That's a fair point, actually, yeah.
Like, why would I spend 10 hours learning the Crystron combo just to mess it up in Team Wars when I can go Rod, search circle, add nav, DM in hand, I win.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I think that highlights this enough here too. So I guess we're gonna go on to the last portion of the meta-analysis section, which is gonna be the Champions League power rankings.
Let's go.
So I ended off with Snifferson next here, so now I'm gonna shoot up to you lot. So taking a look here, we have Grimjow in first place here. going 20-8 overall with a 5 wins per match and only playing 4 games here, followed up by Ma, the newcomer or the member of Lost Tribe on one of the latest teams, Fake Six, Zeta, Kenya, Cubio, Medziar, Lorenzo, Roma, Moon, and Hisoka. So, give me your thoughts on this, Lotso. Are you surprised? Is there anything that stands out to you? Anyone who you feel is a really good guy if you want to shout out specifically?
Cubio specifically here because he's only played 3 games and he's on the top
my
6.
boy. That's my
Like
boy.
he's won 16 games in 3, which is really good.
Man.
Obviously, Fake Six because I mean it's his debut season. 18 games. I know him because he. I'm not sure if you remember, but the random squad wars that we did a while back, like Fake Six played in that a ton. So I know him from that. So he's doing really well here. He's season 6. Okay, sorry, there. And it's not his debut season, but it's his first season where he's doing this well. And yeah, Ma being second and then going OT this week. Disappointed a lot of fantasy players, I think.
Yeah, like me. I was crying. Oh, I'm gonna add Ma. He always streaks. And then he goes 0-2, and I'm like, alright, I'll just go off myself. That's fine. Piss me off. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, Medziar got 6 wins this week as well, so I see he's up here now.
Yeah, I took a
Lorenzo, well, with his 10 wins, he probably should be up here.
No, I said this already privately, but again, Lorenzo, thank you for saving my fantasy league. Because every time I'm just crying, I crumble, and then it's you or someone else just gives me a shed of hope.
Man, I feel sorry for everyone adding Jan Storm. He's been having a bad season for us.
Yeah, talk about me.
I added the first 2 weeks.
I'm on Jan Storm's team, and I added him, and he didn't even play. I was like, what the hell is this? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh yeah, because he called out last.
He called out. I wasn't even supposed to play. He just came in out of nowhere. I'm like, what?
He said, I have to do something more. Can someone play for me?
And
then Cosmic was like, bro.
I was like, yeah, I'll play. I go to Team Wars, create a team. I tag team. I'm like, oh, I forgot Jan on my team. Cool. Okay. Whatever. But yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Digressing. Personal feelings
also,
aside.
Moon went 0-2 this week as well.
Yep.
Which I had him in my fantasy league.
Really? Like it was 3 players on the power rankings who went 0-2. One didn't Fake Six didn't get to play. And then like Cubio, Lorenzo, and Medziar, I think they all shooted up with a great performance this week. So kind of shook up the power rankings.
Yeah, it definitely was crazy. Andy, I know you got to be happy. How do you feel about your team member Fake Six being on the number 3 on this leaderboard here?
I mean, he was in the lineup, but he didn't get to play this week, and he was kind of sad that because he had, I can spoil it now, he had Christrons as well, but we put in the other Crystron first because he had the better second deck. So he was like, oh, that was my wins. He could have gone like, I think it was 5. He really wanted to play, but yeah, he didn't get to play, but still he's doing great this season.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's see if he can perform good next week.
Yeah, no, you all are doing very, very well. The players on here, super, super nice to see that these guys are coming in and making a really hot start. Some key things that stand out to me is Medziar. He's been doing relatively well, mainly streaking with Black Wings. Fantasy League input, again, if you guys want to join Fantasy League, !fantasy, !discard, get involved in there, message Xerix to get yourself set up on that. Medziar played Black Wings a few weeks. They benched him for like a week or 2, which I thought was kind of different, but I guess they wanted to give him a break. Maybe he wasn't available. I don't know. I was going to ask James on that, but I guess he decided to leave this, so I'm not going to ask his opinion on that. So there's that. The one thing I am surprised about is honestly the number 10 spot with Hisoka. Hisoka's been doing really, really well this season, but I am surprised that he had enough wins where he was able to make the leaderboard here. But nonetheless, that is a strong feat. Lorenzo definitely sneaking his way up in here, especially going with 10 wins. Like looking at
not bench me so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Drizzles to play you every week and put you on my fantasy league, and I'm just gonna be like, is he playing Invoked again? Okay, 10 wins, let's go. But yeah, no, this was really, really solid. Very glad about that. And yeah, very, very good here. So now we're gonna move on to probably what I would consider my favorite part, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy it too because we get to be as raw as possible, and who cares because we're gonna do what we want. Woo! All right, let's go to the upcoming match sheet, the upcoming games that we have for the week. What we predict, what we expect, who's playing who, biased, unbiased, reasons why, etc. All that mumbo jumbo. Okay, so starting off here, we have Diffusion versus Duel Links Taiwan. So first, I'm going to ask everyone here. Yeah, I know I said don't care as Xerix, that's fine though. Going to Andy here. Before I go to you, Lorenzo, because you're on this team. Andy, give me your thoughts. Who do you expect to win this? What do you think the score will be? Key factors, etc. Tell me.
I think that Diffusion will win because I know I was part of Diffusion as well. And we played them last season in the playoffs, and we won versus them. But the games versus them were always crazy. So I expect it to be a close match. Although Duel Links Taiwan basically I think they got smacked this week, if I remember correctly. It was a hard week for them and a good week for Diffusion, but I still can see it being a close game.
Yeah, no, QBO kicked their ass. It was great. Sniffus, give me your thoughts. Are you feeling the same as Andy? Are you feeling different?
Yeah, I also think this one will be a really close one because both teams are really good. I think like 10-7 for Diffusion, maybe 10-8. But yeah, I expect Diffusion to win because, like Andy said, Diffusion's coming out of a good week. Duel Links Taiwan is coming out of a rough week, and Diffusion just has that extra momentum.
Yeah. All right. And ending off with you, Lorenzo. Obviously, I am assuming you expect your guys to come out on top. Is there any key factors that you guys think you'll need in order to get clutch this win out?
I mean, the good thing is Drizzles will be back with organization. Like we have to give a huge shout out every time to Drizzles. Like no one in the team other than him organizes stuff, and we're like, no one knows what's happening. No one knows when our matches are, and without Drizzles pinging us 20 million times a day, we wouldn't know what's happening. So that will be good that he's back. We will start early with the lineup. We will start early with the testing and who's going to play. So that's definitely better than doing it last minute. And yeah, for me personally, I don't know if I will play yet. I'm going to start a new job on Monday, so probably not if it's Sunday.
Ooh, nice.
But,
Congrats on the new job, man.
Oh,
I hope that my team clutches it out again.
Yeah, no, very good. I don't know. In my opinion, I think Diffusion wins this. I expect them to win with, honestly, 10-7, 10-8. I think Duel Links Taiwan will beat Hungary after their loss last week, but I don't know if it'll be enough. And honestly, I think a key factor is going to be this week if you guys choose to play Jano or not. If you don't play Jano, I think that it'll be much closer, and I could see these being swapped, but I think he's going to be a big factor this week. So that's my opinions on that. Now we have Rookies versus Garuda. So shooting over to you, Nix, first. Who do you expect to win this? Key factors, etc.
Man, these are both Asian teams. And I love these matchups because you never know what they're going to bring. They might bring more Dragoonity or Weather Painters or Megaliths or something. We might have Weather Painters versus Dragoonity. Who knows? I'm going to watch this match for sure. Talking about favorites, I honestly would say Rookies is kind of the favorite team here, but Garuda is one of those underdog teams that you never want to count out. Like, I still remember season 2 when they just came back and made the finals out of nowhere, and they won that one match with Exodia versus Stall. Ever since that, Garuda has been a team I never count out. It's just like sure, they might not be favored, but you know, they could win this.
Yeah.
Sirac said Rookies is the only undefeated team. I actually did not know that.
Shit,
So
I don't think anyone knew that.
I'm gonna pull for Garuda to pull the upset, but rookies should win this. Yeah.
Give me your thoughts, Lotso. You feeling the same or what?
Well, I'm kind of hoping Garuda wins. Not anything against rookies, but it would be cool for the division to get it more close together. Like if rookies go 7-0, I mean, great on them, but um, Garuda actually has been really good again this season, so I think they can win. I mean, you always need a bit of luck on your side, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I definitely.
I see this as a close game though.
Yeah, I think
It should be close.
obviously I'm like you guys. I'm obviously in favor of Garuda winning this. I would not be surprised if Ricky does win. I think key factors in here is going to be Shinya. Shinyan's going to need a streak. I think Ryu Ash obviously going to need a streak, but I also think that Avarice is going to be a very big factor. I think they're going to need to put him in, and he's need to come off with a very commanding start. Like if he's not a starter or at some point in the early part of the game, and if he doesn't win at least 3 games, I think it's going to get out of hand, and I think that easily rookies can run off with this. So for personal opinion, I want Garuda to win this with a 10-7, but in reality, I think rookies could win this with a 10-8. So there's that. Now nor Nyx, I'm not going to allow Nyx to give comments. I don't care. I'm not going to give opinions on this. Pharaohs versus Toon Squad. So shooting up to you, Sniffus. Who do you expect to win this? Key factors, thoughts, etc.
I think Toon Squad didn't have the greatest season so far, so I expect Pharaohs to win this. They're also coming out of a pretty good week. And yeah, they're just doing overall really well right now, so I expect them to take this one.
Yes. Now shooting back up to you, Lorenzo. Thoughts, opinions, key factors, etc.
I will definitely keep an eye out this week to watch more games because I still think Karakuri is undervalued, and I think someone who could just bring multiples. I think that the strategy Destiny Draw did, they didn't do it enough, or there was some fault with it because playing it myself a lot, I just think it's underrepresented in Team Wars still.
Yeah.
Karakuri, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like one team is gonna bring 10 one week, and we'll see how that does.
Oh, 10 versus 1 Magician Girls, let's go.
Nice. I think key factors are gonna be, for one, it's gonna be. I want to see honestly if they have the APK still, because we saw Toon Squad did really well, but we also saw that J Arabian was a big factor with Karakuri streaking, but that's just how the deck works. Buttons has been one of their most consistent players, currently with a 10-8 record. I would not be surprised if he didn't play. So it'd be very interesting to see he does as well. Obviously, naturally going to be in favor of Pharaohs, especially with the depth that we have in that Toon Squad is a new team. But obviously, if you look at transfer news, we just saw Mimi has added themselves back to the active roster. So I would not be surprised if she were to play.
Do they also have the MCS champ now? Daniel? Does Toon Squad have the...
Yeah.
Yes, they do have the new MCS champion, Daniel.
Okay, so if he streaks, then I can see this being close.
Yeah, alright, so...
It's gonna be interesting.
It'll be very interesting. So 5 SSA Crystron counters confirmed. Got it. Okay.
All I'm gonna say is I hope they break.
Yes.
That's all I have to say.
As they should. As they should. Okay. The Gods Chosen, with, again, keep in mind, recently removing of Ricky and Wower, both free agents, by the way, get finger pickups, versus MY off of their 10-2 most recent win off their hotness. So, shooting up to you, Lotso, who do you think is going to win? What do you expect? Key factors, etc.
I mean, these are both teams at the bottom of the division, but the difference being God's Chosen is coming off a 10-1 loss, whereas MY won 10-2 or 10-3, I think.
10-2.
I mean, I'm gonna, with God's Chosen also losing 2 players, I'll probably go for MY here to win this one.
Okay, now shooting down to you next. Give your thoughts, opinions, etc.
Honestly, I don't really care about this match. It's bottom of the heap. I'm just being real.
Bit harsh.
Nah, bro, be raw. Who cares?
It's like the problem is right now, one of these teams needs to start winning and win until the playoffs at this point to even have a chance. So like, it might be. I feel like they're playing for not respect, but to prove that they don't suck anymore. You know, but who knows?
Yeah.
It's like MY had a great week last week, but God's Chosen had the exact opposite. So, in my opinion, I think MY's favored just from a morale standpoint, but God's Chosen can win it. You know, they're both still in similar standings, so who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Honestly, building off of Nyx and being very blunt here, God's Chosen losing Ricky and Wower. Honestly, I think losing Ricky was a very big factor because, I mean, whether like it or not, Ricky is a skilled player, and I think he's one of the more favored members on that team in order to streak. Like, we've had many conversations on and off the air, and in terms of bringing decks like Shiranui, he's definitely a guy who can be consistent, and based off his previous season success, he has definitely proven that he is an admirable member to any team, as well as having skill sets, plays, etc. Also, you can't really discredit, despite personal opinions and feelings or not, you have had Wower now win 2 meta weeklies. You have had Anthox, who's also won a meta weekly. So right now, currently, they're in a position where you've lost 2 key members, and although you do have a few others, team chemistry clearly appears to be an issue. There's that. You have a mix of personalities. Dex and Broadsetter pair clearly also tend to be a thing. And since they clearly are going to be in a position where they need to rebuild, you don't know exactly who's going to take leadership. You don't know who's going to really be the big face. And honestly, based on last week after Lorenzo streaked on them, you don't know who's going to make the plays properly or not.
In my opinion, God's Chosen is in that place where a team never wants to be. You're just falling apart, and everyone's like, who cares about the season at this point? I hope they're not like that, but I wouldn't blame them for feeling like that at this point, because just nothing's going right for them.
Yeah, and honestly, being blunt, although MY did have a very good streak last week, I definitely think luck was a big factor. Nonetheless, these guys aren't scrubs. They're very good players, they have a very good team, roster, and they definitely have the ability to kind of work as one another as a team to get going. So, I think MY takes this 10-4. Maybe 10-5. That's that. I'm not going to make any more comments on it. X Factors versus Sem. This is
That's a great game.
they kicked you? Oh, okay, nice. X Factors versus Sem. So shooting down to up to you, Andy. Give me your thoughts, opinions, yada yada.
Yeah, it's of course I get the crazy match between, like, I think one is Chinese and the other is like from Hong Kong mostly.
Yeah,
so,
Chinese, Japanese, bro.
Asia, let's go.
That's another Asian battle, and like someone said before, everything can happen in that match. We played against X Factors in Clan Wars, and they brought like Vendred stuff. Like, I don't know what they had just bring the spice. I think they also invented the combo Shiranui. So although they lost last week, I think it's gonna be a close one. I think X Factors lost, Sam won, but anything could really happen in that match. I still think Sam is slightly favored, but yeah, crazy.
Okay, alright. Shooting down to you, Lotso. Give me your thoughts on this, and also give me a score. Who do you think this is in favor of, and what do you think the score will be?
I mean, it's hard to say it's in favor of it, but I'm really excited to watch this. I'll definitely tune in. I'll say X Factors win 10-9.
Understandable. And shooting down to you, Sniffus, give me your thoughts and opinions on this.
I think SEM is pretty good right now. I think they'll take this, but it will be close, like 10-7, maybe 10-8.
What the?
That's Andy.
Oh,
Jesus! Keep going, Sniff, if you have any opinions.
But yeah, I don't know. The SEM is just really good right now, just because we already said Grimjaw is just super strong, and if they play him again, then it's just already there looking good for them.
Yeah. Taking a look here, my thoughts and opinions, honestly. In reality, I think X Factors takes this, but like you mentioned, Sniffus, I think Grimjaw will be a big factor. I think, honestly, against a team like this, you need to bring Red Y or Reddy. I think you need to bring him. And honestly, since Crystons, I think are going to definitely trend up in popularity, I think you definitely lock in a Francisco. Francisco's one of the best Crystons and also starting to become a Karakuri player, which is honestly two very strong decks in this meta. Yeah, sir, with the subscription to Duel Links Team Wars Poggers.
That's a gift sub.
Oh, it's a gift sub, whatever.
By Duel Links Team Wars, actually.
You know what?
We gifted it.
We gifted?
You gifted it.
Alright, well, thanks for the sub we gave you. You should say thank you. I don't. Oh my god. But yeah, I think those would be some key factors, man. I don't know. In reality, I think X Factors win this honestly 10-7. But you know what? I really think that I would like to see Sem. I think I would like to see Sem win this with like honestly a pretty decent margin. Like if Grimjaw really streaks again, I straight up think they win 10-6. Kind of ballsy, but people called me crazy for thinking MY would destroy last week, and they did. So there's that. Now, one of the more interesting matchups in my opinion this week, Bricks and Potatoes versus Smogon. So, Lorenzo, give me your thoughts. What do you expect? Who do you think wins? Key factors.
I mean, of course, Sniffles is one of the people I respect and like the most in the game. So I hope his team wins, and I hope he will be a good factor in it if he's in the lineup and he can go positive this time.
Thanks. I'll try.
Alright, now shooting up to you, Andy. Give me your thoughts. What do you expect out of this?
A close war, but I think Bricks will take it like 10-8. Yeah. And Sniffers, you will go 4-2, I believe. No pressure, but...
Patience.
Yes, no, that could be very, very good here. Giving my thoughts and opinions, obviously, in my opinion, I do think that Bricks will be more in favor of this. Granted, I cannot, or I don't honestly think any of us can count out Smogon, considering the fact that they are on a hot streak with now 2+ wins in a row consecutively against some very strong clans, teams. So I think, honestly, I think Bricks wins this 10-8. I wouldn't be surprised if... Actually, you know what? No, I'm lying. I would be surprised if Smogon did win this, but it wouldn't be so far-fetched where I'd be like, oh, okay.
It's like, oh, they won. Cool.
Yeah, kind of like that. Going down to Forbidden Ones and Infinity. Shooting down to Unix. Give me your thoughts, opinions, etc. What do you think gonna come from this?
Keep giving me ones that I have little to no information on.
Exactly, as I should.
Forbidden Ones, 2 and 4, and Infinity is yet to win a match. I would say Forbidden Ones is favored here, but I kind of hope Infinity finally gets a win. That's just my standpoint. I hate seeing teams winless. You know? Yeah, that's my standpoint.
Yeah, I'm not gonna... Alright, I'm gonna shoot up to you, Lotso. Give me your thoughts on this. I'm not gonna spend too much on this one here.
Well, I think Forbidden Ones win. I hope so, because he's my friend and I want his team to do well. But yeah, what Nick said, it's not nice when teams are on 0 wins, but they can get their win another week.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Alright, being blunt, honestly, I think Forbidden Ones wins this with like a 10-6 or honestly even a 10-4 record. I expect Infinity to kind of get streaked on by Crystons, and being blunt, after last week's performance, we saw that Infinity, even with having the nuts, they do have the ability to misplay, and that really costs them a lot of games. We saw Excalibur was able to streak last week. I don't expect him to play that week. I do think they will try to make some usage of not only their better players, but also their inactives. So if we see like a Buggy the Clown, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised also, honestly, if Hideki were to come in. But I think they take a pretty commanding win over it. So.
And they need this win too.
Yeah, they actually do. So now we're getting to some of the more better matches, in my opinion, lined up for this week. Starting out with Phoenix versus Claw Clan. So I'm gonna shoot over to you, Sniffus. I want you to give me your thoughts. Who do you think wins this? What score? Key factors, etc.
This one is going to be interesting because, like, we looked up over the Clark Clan match report before, and we saw that, like, for the first time, I think, Ma went negative, and that's already an upset. And I wonder if this is gonna happen this week again, because usually, well, it just feels like Clark Clan is really reliant on Ma to streak to win. And if that doesn't happen again, if he goes 0-2 again, then I think Phoenix will win this.
Yeah. All right, now shooting up to you, Lorenzo. Give me your thoughts here on this match.
I honestly I'm not qualified to speak on this.
That's like
That's very honest.
You know, I respect it. Honestly. All right.
I mean,
all right. So,
yeah,
all right. I'll redirect that question to you then, Lotso. Give me your thoughts.
Well, it should be a really fun game to watch, I think. Phoenix is doing really well again after not doing that well last season. But yeah, Claw Clan does seem a bit reliant on Ma streaking. But if he does streak, I see them win. But if I'm just going on odds and if I would have to bet, I'd bet on Phoenix to win.
Yeah. Giving some thoughts and opinions on this here. I think Phoenix does win this, but I think they win this with a very tight score. Also, I think some key factors are going to be, one, we see one of the more consistent guys who's constantly in the lineup is Lord. I expect him, honestly, to... Lord's a very good friend of mine, and his pairs are always weird. He's a hero enthusiast, so honestly, I think he like goes with that, and I think he gets lucky and goes like 3-2. I wouldn't be surprised for that. I think Ma is going to be hungry and going to try to unforget about that 0-2. So I definitely expect him to, you know, go ahead and try to maybe streak a little bit more. I think he straight up honestly could go like 4-2. I think key factors that is going to be needed for Phoenix will be Godfather. I think Godfather is one of the more consistent good players. We've seen him in the most recent events do very well. He's fresh off of a giveaway win, doing well in various other leagues also. I think he will be big. We saw LP last week on Claw Clan. Honestly, I think he performed very well, and I think he could be a pretty good guy to throw in this week too. But I think Phoenix is just at a real all-time high right now, honestly. This clearly is not like their best season, but for a team that was rebuilding during the offseason, they definitely are doing a good job here. So I do expect them to come out on top, and I expect them to take like honestly a 10-7 win. This match, honestly, I don't even know if I can do the talking for it, because I really don't know what to say.
That's gonna be good, because that's one of the, like, that's Japan versus Japan, and I want to see like, do their memes work? Like, maybe it just works for them in their Japan leagues, and that's why they bring them to Team Wars. So I want to see like what happens in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, both teams are 3-3, but the difference being, like, there's a huge difference in round differential. With, like, in the positive for Switcher, they're like +6 or +8 or something, and Destiny Draw is -6 or -8. So there's a huge difference there. But it's a really important game for both teams.
Yeah, like, being honest, like, this is gonna be probably the weirdest war we're gonna see, I think, all season.
One thing, these are both teams that could probably be undefeated right now. They're just having off seasons. So, like, these two being 3-3 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, off season.
This might decide who might make playoffs, honestly.
Yeah, like, not even that, but honestly, there have been a few questionable things, but what we're gonna see here, I think, is not only a display of skill, but just a display of variety. Because Switcheroo, we've seen their Megalith Weather Painters pair. They've seen run it twice. I mentioned this earlier, that the
No,
meta.
that was Neo. Sorry.
Oh, Neo. My bad. Yeah, Neo. But either way, the meta for Switcheroo, Destiny Draw, any of these Japanese / overseas teams is completely different. So honestly, I would not be surprised if we just saw a. Honestly, just saw a. I don't want to curse. A butt ton of spice on here.
Well, we can't curse over here.
I don't know, bro. I don't make the.
It was Taha in the chat. Taha, can we curse?
Okay. There's a shit ton of things happening there. I said it. I don't know. This could be pretty insane, plain and simple. Like, the thing is, I think key factors is gonna be. I think we need to see Soon from Destiny Draw, but I also think we need to see King Halo from Switcheroo. I think those are two key factors.
Big names.
Yeah, we need to see those guys here. And I think Switcheroo wins here. Like, on paper, in reality, it's like we probably should root for Destiny Draw, but I think Switcheroo is going to win this year. I think Switcheroo is going to win with like honestly, a 10-9, 10-8.
Yeah.
How do you feel? What do you think this ends on, Sniffus?
Honestly, I have no idea. It's like what Next said. Are their memes effective when their opponents also bring memes? That's just what I just want to see this match. I don't know who will win. I can see it going both ways, but it's going to be good.
The thing is, we can't predict what their game's going to be like because we are going with the, NA Europe type meta, whereas Japan, they just bring whatever they feel like. Like, that's the one thing I respect about them. They just bring what they want to bring. And you can either try and play to beat them or just lose to random memes. Like, I still remember that one time we lost in playoffs to Heroes and nobody expected Heroes. Just these Asian teams, man, they're great. That's all I can say.
We lost to Neo last season on a DDD streak.
What the? Oh my god.
They won 4 games with DDD or something, or 5 even. It's like so annoying.
Like, all I can say is the only thing I'm not looking forward to is like a 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time schedule for this match. Yeah. Don't check Team Wars, and yeah. Alright, so let's move on to this. Alright. APK versus Divine. So, I know Sniffus, I want to hear your comments on this. Tell me, what do you expect?
Well, Divine lost this. Yeah, Divine lost to Kings, right? Oh yeah, okay. I think Abusement Park will win this. It's gonna be a close one. I think this one's gonna be really close. But overall, it's hard talking about the Victor Lee team because reasons.
Come on, pal.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like 10-8, 10-9 for Abusement Park.
Okay. Lorenzo, give me your thoughts. How are you feeling on this? Oh yeah, I feel the same way, bro. Come on.
Good job, Lorenzo.
Alright, let's move on to the next guy. Andy, tell me your thoughts. What are you thinking about this?
I think I'm not sure about that. It depends how Divine will recover from last week's game against Kings. It can either be a close game, like Sniffer said, like 10-9 or 10-8, but I also could see like a 10-4 or 10-5 game if they don't recover from last week. I could see both things happening, but I think that Abusement Park will win in either way.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Abusement Park wins. I know he's been a little busy, but I would not be surprised if we saw a comeback of my boy Wayne. He'd be nice. Wayne Keenoff.
Wayne is unfortunate. He said he doesn't enjoy the game right now, which is understandable with like Karakuri.
I can't blame him, but he still can clap. We all know this. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he played.
Not gonna give it away.
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! It's a reveal. Okay.
No, I'm not.
I'm kidding. Honestly, I think ASAP would be pretty nice here this week too. Hopefully they give Dishonorable a pair that doesn't lose to Shiranui. I'm gonna continue to get
This
on that.
guy.
That really makes me so fucking pissed, dude. Like I was so angry.
I mean, yeah, they don't listen to you, yeah.
Well, I'm not on Divine. They don't have to listen to me. I don't care.
I mean, but when they ask you your opinion and then you tell
yeah.
them and then they go against,
Yeah. Whatever. There's that. All right. Long story short, TLDR, Death Row wins 10-6 versus Kings. That's my opinion.
Death Row needs that.
Yeah. Agreement, different opinions, thoughts.
Yeah.
No, I think they.
That's one of. They should, unless they, mess up.
No,
but, yeah.
Death Row got rid of Trap Dexter, so you know they're actually good now.
Trap in chat too.
Oh, this man's gonna be heated in chat, but we don't care. All right, now let's go ahead and go to Sun Clan versus Draw Sense. All right, so shooting down to you, Lorenzo, because you were previous teammates and friends with Raw. Give me your thoughts and opinions on this matchup.
I hope Raw is focused in regards to what happened in Clan Wars, and that he takes his time for Sun Clan and not focuses too much on our Clan Wars disputes and our weak performance there. And he just has his head there and just does his coaching role as he was meant to.
Yeah. Shooting up to you, Andy. Give me your thoughts on this. Who do you think takes it in the score, etc.?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna root for Sun Clan as well, because I literally don't know anyone of Drosens, because they're kind of unknown, and I know a couple of the Sun Clan guys, and I hope they will win. And I think it's like 10-7 should be a kind of reasonable result for the match.
Yeah. Taking a... I don't know if anyone was speaking. I don't want to cut you off. Sorry. Okay, no one was. Cool. Being honest, I don't know here really. If I had to pick a team, I honestly would probably pick. I probably would pick Draw Sense. I think that Sun Clan is clearly one of the better teams right now. They're second in their division, and they're fresh off of a win against one of the best teams and previous season champions. But Draw Sense still is one of the best new teams, and they have been performing very well. Sun Clan has displayed that clearly many of their players can go ahead and streak and show clear display of skill. But a few factors going to play into it. Like, we saw Hegelian Boy and Massacre as the previous streakers, but what will they be playing? Raw is one of the more consistent guys, so I wouldn't be surprised if he plays, but if he doesn't, do they still win this? And not even that, a big thing to figure out is the times they play at. Last time they won 10-8, but we saw Hegelian Boy even admitted in chat that we played at 4 a.m. their time, or they played at 4 a.m. their time, and that definitely was a factor in them saying quote-unquote misplays, I believe, or throwing some games. So a lot of things are going to go into this, but I really do think Draw Sense can come out on top. Again, obviously I'm speaking objectively, but I wouldn't be surprised. Going down to Neo versus BZ, shooting down to you, Nick. Actually, no, Nick, you even know about this team.
Which one? I know about both.
All right, then, yeah.
BZ, they're the ones who beat us with heroes, bro.
Oh.
I'll never forget that day.
Okay, give me your thoughts then. Tell me about this.
Sakura just streaked on us with heroes in playoffs. That man, oh my god. BZ is just one of those teams where, like, I would not expect them to do anything. Oh, sorry, let me fix what I was going to say. I would not be surprised if they bring the most random thing and win with it. That's just how I see BZ. Neo, I don't really know much about Neo. I just know they're Asians, am I correct? They're 1-5. Okay, here we go. So yeah, okay, I'm picking BZ, of course, because they're 4-2. Just BZ is a good team. Neo has not been doing good, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just blow them out, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, shooting up to you, Lorenzo. Give me your thoughts on this matchup here, if you have any.
I can also easily see another hero streak. Like, that deck is scary and can probably, like, it has no best bat matchup as long as you go second. That deck can just streak like crazy. You just really have to believe in it.
Yeah, there's like no real hero counter. It's like, what do I throw? Okay, I'll just throw this deck. Hope they don't OTK me turn 2.
Yep. Completely agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right. Honestly, this can go any direction. I do think BZ comes on top. I made the comment incorrectly thinking it's true, but yeah, going back to them, I do think they need to drop that. Oh, Edo's a sub now lit. He redeemed his points finally. Let's go, Boggers. Woo! Okay. I think that Neo definitely needs to drop that Weather Painter, Megalith pair. Like that's gotta go. Both decks have to go.
Oh, that's why they lost.
Well, yeah.
That's why they're 1-5. That explains it.
They brought that deck 2 weeks in a row, and they lost both weeks 10-8. Like,
God.
like I think that's a sign that clearly it shouldn't be brought. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, Weather Painters have proven that they're able to win like a weekly, which is pretty good, and they also definitely are seeing a lot more popularity since then. But even then, we're not seeing that same results from
Megalith.
We're not seeing the results from Megaliths, so.
You bring one or the other. You don't bring both in the same decks.
I don't know.
Same person. I mean,
You don't bring Megalith, period.
Yeah, like I will say, I will give respect to Neo for not only bringing these decks, but also the fact that they have trust in one another to bring it. But
yeah.
Other than that, that's just that.
Because I remember one time I tried to bring a meme, and Jan Storm was like, "No, if you do that, I leave team." I'm like, okay.
I love you say how he goes, "I leave team." Jesus, that's literally how he's like.
No, because Jan Storm doesn't really speak English that much, but when he speaks it, he's serious. He's like, no.
Look, the only way I knew Jan didn't speak English is he tried to play Among Us with us, and then after that, I was like, bro, you don't even speak English. How are we gonna find out you're an imposter or not? I was like, Jesus Christ. But that's here nor there. So moving on to the next game, Forbidden Ones versus the Immortals. Shooting all the way over to you, Sniffus. Give me your thoughts on this. Who do you want to win?
I said it before, I think Forbidden Ones will win this for sure. Immortals lost their best 2 players. I don't think they will recover from this easily. Yeah, I really just think this is going to be a quick one.
All right, give me
how it is.
Give me
Forbidden Memories, by the way.
And 10-4, something like that.
Yeah. All right. How do you feel, Andy? What's your thoughts on this?
I just hope that they don't bring Daedalus and Contrera against their old team. But
oh yeah,
but yeah, it's Forbidden Memories. But yeah, it's probably gonna be one of the most one-sided matches this week, in my opinion. Like 10-4, 10-3. Yeah, I could see that as well because they lost key players.
Yeah. I don't care, man. Honestly, I think Forbidden Memories takes this with a 10-4, maybe a 10-5. If PDS wants to be super disrespectful, he puts Conchera and Daedalus in the lineup, and they just both streak. But that's like a spit in the face, to be honest. I don't know if he'd do that.
If I was in charge, I'd lead with one of them and then have him as the second guy.
Oh
just
my
to be
The second one probably won't play. Just
yeah, they probably won't, but I would.
being realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, it would be insane. I don't want to sound rude, but I don't know who they really put on Immortals to send in. Not even just because like people compete. I just genuinely don't know the roster. I think they have Breno. They just removed Big House, but Big House hasn't really played in forever. So I don't know. I think this is gonna be another week where I'm rooting for Edu and Zeta because I will be putting them in my fantasy league. Other than that, yeah, that's really just it.
Yeah, that's like a match you want to bet on for fantasy league.
Yeah, no. Speaking about another match, honestly, this is one of the few where I'm gonna be like, I honestly don't know. On paper, I don't know. Tier 0 versus Lost Tribe. I'm gonna save your comments for last, Andy. Shooting up to you, Lotso. Give me your thoughts, opinions on this one right here.
I mean, should be one of the more interesting wars of the week, I think, with both teams are being like 5-1 and 4-2, like really high in their division. So I think it's second against third or something. I'm not completely sure, but they're both high. I do think Tier Zero will win though, unless they're Kara bricks. But yeah, they're lucky because I'm expecting them to bring a lot of Karakuri again.
Okay. Now shooting down to you next. Give me your thoughts on this right here.
Well, I saw Neg one in the chat. I want you to bring 10 Karakuri given on no balls.
You know that's gonna be the thing to take away. Last week we lost, so what's the fix? Bring more Karakuri.
I saw him react when I said it earlier. So, like, he said tempting. So, come on, bring it, and we'll see. You know, bring one DM for the invoked. You know, let's see. But this should be a good match. Who knows, really? I'm just going to watch and see the best plays do what they do and clap. I don't expect much misplays in this, but one misplay could cost either team the match. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Should be a close match either way.
Yeah. All right, now Andy, going to you. This is your team, so what's your thoughts, mentality, feelings on this, etc.?
Yeah, of course, we are trying our best, and I think we can beat them because we are in our position. All teams are beyond us currently, so they have to beat us first. And if we bring multiple system downs, then yeah, we are cool.
Yeah, I definitely understand. In my opinion, I don't know. I'm cool with both you teams. Honestly, I really don't know. I genuinely don't have an answer. I think Tier 0 on paper should win, but in reality, when you also look at the other side of the sheet, Lost Tribe has a better record and RD than Tier 0 does currently. So it's like, you really don't know. We've seen tremendous skills displayed from all the Tier 0 players, especially like Chris. Again, despite his unfortunate play. No, I'm not rubbing it. I'm saying Chris is like a very, like, he's amazing. He's amazing. So I'm just saying, despite even a play like that, we expect guys to make similar plays and show their skills so that they can go on a bit of a tear here. He's definitely gonna bounce back, and I expect a lot of their guys to have the same mentality. Personally, I do want to see some of their other guys get in there. I do want to see super forms in there. They just added 2 players, Ali BR, and before that previously they added Tuni. So maybe young Tunahan will get some play time. We don't know. We will see. Lost Tribe, honestly, I feel like everyone's just streaking on there. Let me take a look. Like, think about it. Like, ZenWow just streaked last week with Heroes. We just saw Fake Six as one of the number 3 players in the power ranking, so I think he'll be pretty good. Yeah, man, this really could go any direction. Like, I genuinely just don't know. Like, these are just 2 highly skilled teams, and no matter what, at the end of the day, luck is going to be a factor. Skill's obviously going to be a very big factor also, but no matter what, it's going to be who has the nuts. So, we'll just see, I guess. And lastly, we have X Hunters versus 12 O'Clock Cheaters. So going down to you, Lorenzo, if you can speak on this, give me your thoughts and opinions on this.
I'm not very familiar with new teams in general. Like, I'm not familiar in general, I think, enough to speak on a lot of matchups, but like these 2 teams, I just don't know anyone.
Okay, shooting up to you, Sniff, give me your thoughts and opinions, etc.
For X Hunters?
X Hunters versus 12 O'Clock Cheaters, yeah?
That's an interesting one. Honestly, I can see 12 O'Clock Cheaters doing the thing that they do best and just streaking with like their decks, and that's being like a 4-10 or like a 10-4.
Yeah.
Flip some coins. Go 10 Karakuri.
Honestly, I think this is just me a coin flip. I really don't have anyone to root for. Like 12 o'clock cheaters, I've seen they've done two things. They won because their opponent, one guy opened Squire 9 out of 10 games, and then they had another guy who just streaked with Karakuri. So it's literally gonna be who's streaking out of the two of them.
Yeah.
That's really it. Hisoka clearly being the most dominant player in X Hunters, very, very good. Roy also did relatively well. We know Roy's a strong player, but I don't know. They're both teams are, I think, can definitely compete, but I genuinely just don't know where it's gonna go. Like I'm literally gonna say 12 o'clock cheaters just because for 2 weeks in a row they've had more of the luck here.
Yeah, they have a streak going, and that momentum is key sometimes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Other than that, that practically is going to wrap up the match predictions that we have for this week as well as the upcoming schedule. So now we're on the last portion of today, which is going to be the chat question and answers. So if you guys have any questions for some of our wonderful people here, if you have them for Andy, if you have them for Lotso, myself, Lorenzo, Nick, Sniffus, etc., feel free to go ahead and give those comments. I'll give you guys roughly like 2 to 3 minutes to type them in chat before we start to wrap things up a bit.
I'm expecting some trolls.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now what's gonna happen is you're gonna see Trap Dexter saying "suck my peen" in the chat. That's all it's gonna be. Just a ton of spam.
Don't tempt him.
Yes, no.
Bro, for real, don't tempt him.
And see, look what he does. He calls him a beacha. First thing.
I think that was here before.
Yeah, that
to
was
be
about
fair.
Chris.
Oh, that was here before. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Lorenzo, are you still here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh. There's a question for
Yeah,
you.
bro.
How do you come up with some of those meme decklists?
Bro, I played the TCG for 10 years. I just play decks I used to play. That suck now.
You gonna play wind-ups?
Probably not. It doesn't work with 3 slots on the field. Konami messed something up there with card creation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
The
very
only good thing the deck doesn't work with 3 monster slots. I don't know what they thought about releasing that deck.
Yeah, I know they're ridiculous, man. I don't know. Sniffus, how tall are you?
6.6 feet, I think. Or like how? Like 6 feet 6 inches.
Jesus Christ, man! You should be in the NBA.
I could have played basketball instead of just playing Duel Links. Nice.
Yes. Why make millions when you can win all the MCS money?
You can
Fuck.
spend millions on cards, virtual cards. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, nonetheless, I'm gonna wrap it up here. The stream's almost been going for 3 hours. This is longer than a war, bro. That's insane. So to kind of end on a high note here, first off, thank you for everyone here, not only watching, but you guys especially who were here for the interviewers, allowing me to interview guys, Andy, Lotso, Lorenzo, Nick, Sniffus. This was really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, man. Have me again next week. I'll be down.
I don't even know if I'll be hosting next week. I told them I'd try it out. I enjoyed myself. I mean, I definitely like just I definitely like just shooting the shit with you guys, man. It was really, really nice. So, alright, definitely cool. If you guys have not done so already, please go ahead and join the Discord. Get yourself involved in Duel Links Team Wars. This is definitely something you want to get involved in. !Discord, !Fantasy in the chat. Make sure to go ahead and root for your favorite teams this week. Good luck to Bricks, Diffusion, Pharaohs, Abusement Park, Lost Tribe, and any of the other teams out there competing this week. We all hope and wish the best for you. Shout out to Xerix and Taha for making this all work. Greatly appreciate it. That's going to be end of that. I don't know who wants to host. I don't have that ability. I'll simply wait till then. But other than that, man, again, I really appreciate everyone here. I really appreciate you guys here in the call. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay, well, I don't know how to host.
Alright.
Oh, follow me on Twitter. !Twitter. Xerix, put my Twitter here. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm gonna be upset. I want to follow on Twitter. That's the only thing I care about. Don't follow me on Twitch. I don't care about Twitch. Just follow me on Twitter. Are you guys arguing on who to host? Just pick someone. Go host Nifroth or something.
I'm gonna go. See you guys.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone. Thanks for having me on and stuff.
They're rating someone called my mom's boyfriend?
Oh my
What
God.
the hell?
Yeah, this seems like a not good idea.
Alright, you know what? Whatever, I'm gonna end the stream, son.